Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we are answering your YouTube questions. And when I say we, I mean myself and my brother from the same mother, D.
Ready, locked and loaded, ready to answer questions today.
Sounds like you're ready to go.
Ready to go. How was your week? Missed you. Do we have any YouTube news?
If you are watching this on the replay, I do want to let you know that we have timestamps down in the video description. So if you want to hit those timestamps, you can jump around, see the questions we ask, things like that. But I encourage you to sit back, listen, because you can learn a lot about YouTube from this stream. If you just sit back and listen to this while you work, or if you're somebody that's listening to us on a run, or a long walk, or anything like that, shout out to you. And yeah, you can just sit back, listen to it, and enjoy the show. Learn a bunch of stuff about YouTube in the meantime. But when it comes to YouTube news, we have just a little bit of YouTube news today. And by a little bit, I mean just like a tiny little bit.
A tad. What is it?
All right. So the tiny little bit of news is that if you are somebody that has just a couple of YouTube channels or just multiple YouTube channels, and all of those channels are connected to one AdSense account, and they are all connected to one email account, then in that case, YouTube has made an update to where you are able to see all of the revenue information that is coming from those channels. So basically your payouts is the information that you see, and you can see a little bit of historical data from that, but it's taking everything, so you don't have to log into each individual account to see this stuff. It is taking all of that information and it's putting it in one spot for you so that you can easily see what you've earned across YouTube channels. So this is great, for the people that have multiple channels. I know there's like a lot of, people that have a lot of faceless channels, things like that. So for, people in those situations, this is a good fit for you.
And how do you access this? How do you access it?
It just shows up in your Creator Studio. So if you have multiple channels, everything's connected, and you're monetized on all of them, and you're getting payouts, then it shows up in your Creator Studio.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So with that, that's the news.
All right. Well,
that's it. That's all we have. So
we got
today's
cross-channel monetization data before we got live stream mobile.
We did.
Tagging.
Absolutely, we did.
All right.
So, but today's stream is brought to you by OpusClip. OpusClip is a content repurposing tool where you can take your long-form content and you can convert that content into shorter clips, either vertical clips or up to 15-minute long videos that you can then put on other platforms. You can use them to fill in the blanks on your channel sometimes, depending on the type of content that you make. You can use it to start publishing shorts. You can use it to create new TikTok accounts with. Anything that you want, because it's your content, you can use OpusClip to take your content and give you the opportunity to put that content up elsewhere. So you can get, expand your brand, essentially. But you can try out OpusClip for yourself at tryopus.now.com if you want to hook me up with an affiliate commission. Otherwise, you can just go to opusclip.com. And when it comes to OpusClip, one of the really cool things that they're doing right now is they have something called Story Mode, and it's currently free that you can go use. And with Story Mode, what it does is it allows you to make clips that you can use as B-roll, or you can make entire videos with it. But it has preset styling options, and then in addition to those styling options, you can also upload images on styles and say, I want the video to look like this, and it will repeat those styles. It's really cool. But you can find that also through opusclip.com, but that particular feature by itself is really, really cool. So I recommend that you check it out. I have a post on Twitter, and I've reposted some others on Twitter as well, or on X, where other people have also used it in the scenario like I have, to where you have your video, and then you use the B-roll, so then you kind of cut back and forth between your regular video and then the animated, like really high-end feeling B-roll that comes along with Agent Opus. So you can try that over at opusclip.com.
Agent Opus just sounds so hardcore.
It does.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like something serious is going to happen.
Yeah, it's going down.
It does, yep.
Yeah.
And if you are new here, I do want to let you know that we have a form that is down in the video description where you can put your YouTube questions. So if you have questions about anything it is that you are doing on YouTube, I recommend that you put your question into the form. And with that, you don't have to super chat or anything like that. You can just put your question in there, and we will get it answered on the stream today. And then I'm going to put this here, drop it in the chat, just in case anybody doesn't want to go down to the video description, so we can make this easy for everybody.
Daniel Battal's in the house.
There we go. Daniel Battal in the house. What is up, my man?
Daniel Batal.
Got a little promo here playing for Daniel Batal.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Tish, good to see you.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into the YouTube questions. So the very first question that we have is from K Skis. K Skis uploads when they have time. The type of channel is anime gaming. They do like gaming and rants related to anime and anime games. And the goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is, do you have any tips or advice for making edits that convey a story? Make the viewer engaged, or even when you don't do much engaged, even when you don't do much talking. For context, I just recorded a video on a game a few days ago, and I'm currently editing it. However, most of the entire video is mostly me silent because either I'm not sure on what to really say, that isn't just repetitive, or I'm just locked in on the game and playing. If you were in my shoes, what would you do personally? If I was in your shoes and I had a gaming channel, I would create a challenge or a goal around every single stream that I was doing. And the reason for that is because if you create a challenge or a goal, it helps you give your content a clear beginning, middle, and end. And basically the beginning is you trying to figure out whatever, that thing is that you're trying to do, and you're expressing that to people. Hey, this is the thing. The middle is essentially you bumping into walls and failing and trying again and, getting a little bit farther, and then, taking a step back and getting a little bit farther so people can watch it. And then the end is if you make it or not, right? So it just makes it a little bit more interesting when it comes to the content, because it gives people a reason to stay there. Because yes, people will just watch the game if you are doing something that's really entertaining, or if you're just really good at the game. However, when you create some type of challenge around it, or you give people something to follow along with, then in that case, it instantly becomes a little bit more interesting. So because of that, I would definitely do the thing where you are adding a challenge of some type to it.
Can you hit one of those audio clips again? Hit Daniel's.
Absolutely. I think his is like a little bit low anyway, but I will.
Daniel Batal.
Yeah, and Daniel says that he bumps into walls all the time.
He does.
Larisha, what's going on? Build with Mooney. I hope that you're doing fantastic. Nice to see you in here. Shark Scrapper, what's going on? iFun Chris in the house. What is going on, my man? Hope you're doing great. Nice to see you in here. Hope everybody is doing awesome.
What Daniel doesn't tell you is that he's bumping
You're watching them in live.
Walls.
Yeah.
Like we have to kick Daniel out of the house all the time. Daniel, what are you doing in here again?
Yeah.
It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. You hear some racket in the other room.
Yep.
Open the door.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is. Yep.
Again,
Yep.
Lock your doors is what I'm trying to say. If you're in the vicinity of a Batel, you have to keep your doors locked
of a
at night.
Batel,
He wonders.
That's great.
Sleepwalking. It's terrible. It's a terrible thing.
Yep. KD Gone Crazy is the next channel here. And on KD Gone Crazy, they upload when they have time, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. The type of channel is they just do gaming. They don't really have a set in stone niche yet. And the goal of the channel is to have fun. Question is, so I remember you answering this question a few months ago, and you still haven't started your channel. Come on.
Hold on. I
D,
remember.
can you let him have it, please?
Hold on. I remember you answering this question a couple of months ago. So I didn't do anything. I just figured I would come back in a couple of months and ask the question again.
Yep.
Yeah. Listen. Why are you not starting your channel? Why have you not started your? Here's what I want you to do. I want you. Look, you have a YouTube channel. I want you to record a YouTube short. Record it. Hit record. If you're going to put yourself on camera, pick up the phone, just say what's on your mind, hit short, and just publish the video.
Yeah.
If you don't want to put yourself on camera, hit record, walk around your house, talk about something that you have, talk about your favorite appliance, the favorite doodad that you have, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, explain why you like the thing, and just hit publish. I want you to do that. I want you to do that today.
Yes.
Are you going to do that today? If you don't do that today, then the next time you come back, we're going to skip your question, because that tells me that you're not serious about this. It tells me that you're a dreamer and you don't actually want to do it. Go make a YouTube short, man. Get on it. All right.
Yeah, so the time that I've been on YouTube, just so you know, just to share this with you.
They probably have a whole channel full of shorts that they're holding out on us.
They might, yeah. So the whole time I've been on YouTube, which is like 11 years now, I would say after about 1 year in, maybe a year and a half in, I know people that have wanted to start YouTube channels and have been like, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to start a YouTube channel. And then, every now and then they pop up again and they're like, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to start a YouTube channel. And they just never do it. right? And, it's been 10 years later and they still don't do it. So, and this is multiple people. I'm not targeting anybody with that statement, in case anybody we know is watching. But basically, when it comes to those types of things, if it's something that you want to do, you just got to do it. You just got to do it.
Yeah, man, those videos are not going to make themselves.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I guess with AI, they kind of can.
But still, you have to prompt it. You still
that's
have
true.
To,
You got to do something.
You have to do something.
You got to do something.
Listen, I promise you, if you are watching this right now and you're just thinking, man, I need to get a YouTube channel together, and you've been waiting and you've been prepping and you've been trying to get everything perfect to start the perfect channel.
Yeah.
Newsflash, it's never going to be the perfect time. And you've probably heard that 1,000 times, but it's true.
Nope.
It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to have all the skills. You're never going to know everything. You're never going to be ready. You're never going to have the right communication skills. You're never going to be great at editing. All you can do is make something and improve the next time you make it a little bit, and then try to make it again and try to improve a little bit better. That's all you can do. But if you don't get started, you're going to be stuck in the exact same place a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, and everybody else who started their channels, they're going to be doing the things that they want to do, and you're going to be dreaming about starting your channel. If I can just get enough time, if I can just wait for the thing, if I can just get the new upgraded lens, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up their channel real quick and just see if we're if we're saying something here. Okay, so they've got a couple of videos up. 10 months ago.
Well, then I retire. I'm done.
10 months ago, 9 months ago, and 2 months ago. Yeah, you gotta get consistent, right? So one of the things when it comes to YouTube is, since you have published videos on the YouTube channel, one of the things that is really important is practice, right? Because if you don't practice, then you can't improve. So because of that, definitely try to work the process of creating and publishing content into your schedule. And if you do that, then that gives you the opportunity that YouTube has to offer. It allows you to tap into that and will, help ensure that you're doing everything that you can to move forward and get the most out of your YouTube channel. And your goal is to have fun, and it's going to make sure you're having a good time as well. So yeah, get on it.
Yeah, I mean, think of YouTube like anything else. If you just went to the gym once every couple of months, no impact at all. If you went to the gym once a month, it's not going to do anything for you. Twice a month, it's not going to do anything for you. If you just ate healthy meals once or twice a month, it's not going to do anything for you. YouTube's no different. You want to learn a sport, you have to practice a sport.
That's right.
You want to get in better shape, you have to get in better shape. You have to go to the gym. You have to eat better. You want to learn a second language or a third language, you have to practice those languages. YouTube is no different. Yeah, so you have a couple of videos. Now you think you're a hot shot. Proving me wrong over here. I thought you had zero, right?
Yeah.
Coming in here with your big boy pants on, talking about, well, I've got a couple videos. All right, I'll just be quiet.
Okay, so the question is, so I'm wondering if your answer is the same in terms of how I can be my real authentic self without coming off as fake, as well as what would you say in terms of overall content? Does personality play a part in viewers if you could split it up between character and content out of 100? So yes, your presentation of the content matters. Your personality matters, but that doesn't mean you have to have an over-the-top personality, right? What you're doing has to match how you're presenting everything, needs to match your vibe of what it is that you're doing with the content itself. Some people, they will take the approach of just dry humor, hardly any emotion or reaction whatsoever. Some people are completely over the top and are screaming in every single video that they make, right? And you have everything in between. So because of that, pick the style that best represents you and that you're the most comfortable with, which is your authentic self, essentially, and make content in that mode, right? That's what you want to do.
And you're going to change as time goes on.
Yeah.
So what you start with now, whatever it is, maybe you're trying to be sarcastic, or maybe you're trying to be funny, or maybe you're just, trying to go in there and just defeat the game. Over time, that can evolve.
Yeah.
As you become more comfortable, as you become a better YouTuber, as you become a better gamer, everything's going to change. So don't think that you're going to be stuck in this. Well, if I start it this way, I have to do this one thing for the eternity of the channel.
Yes.
It doesn't work that way. The
Forever.
entirety. The entirety and the eternity of the channel.
This is it. This is all you get.
This is it.
You have to do it forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's okay. Start with how whatever you have, start. Be consistent however you need to be consistent. And it's okay to change.
Yep.
No problem.
So we have a big deal in here.
Oh.
Yep.
Another person stepping up with the big boy pants. I see.
Yep. So American English with Brent, congratulations to you.
Yeah, man. Way
High
to
five
go.
and fist bump to you
Way to
on
go.
90,000 subscribers today.
Huge.
Love seeing those come in when people hit those. Absolutely love it. Congratulations to you. Crushing. Waiting for that 100K. I know as you're getting close to it, you're like, oh, here it comes, right? So yeah, congratulations to you, man. Love seeing that. Absolutely love it.
In that particular situation, it's Speak English with Brent. So hypothetically, that is 90,000 people who want to speak English.
Right.
That's an interesting.
It is.
Yeah,
and that doesn't include all the people that watch the videos.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of people trying to figure out this language that we call English.
It is. Yeah, congratulations on you,
way
man.
to
That's
go.
awesome. So next up on the list, and as a reminder, if you are just joining us, we have a form pinned at the top of the chat right now where you can put your questions in, and it'll redirect it to this form. If you get them in there, we will get it answered on the stream today. If you are watching this from somewhere that is not YouTube, then you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and I'll put that on the screen here for you real quick, and that will redirect you to, wrong one, sorry, right here, and that will redirect you to the form that we are taking these questions from. So the next question here on the list, what's going on Together We Travel? Nice to see you in here. Tan going in the kitchen. What's up?
I want to say one more thing. I love that it's American English with Brent too. American English with Brent, because I was sitting
It's the
here
only
thinking,
English that matters, man. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are, there's
Yeah,
the,
I know,
there's
I know.
the proper English, the real English,
yeah.
the OG English, and then there's the American English.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's great that he put that in as.
Yep.
his name.
90,000 subscribers, 4,089,203 views on the channel.
Yeah.
Yep. Love it. Nice work, dude.
Yep.
So let's see here. Next up on our list here, we've got Love Nesters. Love Nesters uploads one time per week or more. Been on YouTube for 1 year or longer. They do Midwest travel and hobby ideas aimed at people whose kids have left the nest. Goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, can you please recommend a video enhancer tool? I have a clip that is about 20 seconds long that I need some type of AI tool to sharpen up the image, ideally into 4K. I looked at Topaz Labs, but they require a monthly subscription. In 4 years, I've not had a need for this, so really looking for a service that is a try for free or just pay what I need. Thanks for all your help. I look forward to starting my weekend listening to you guys. Awesome. Glad you're enjoying the content. So when it comes to free trials, Topaz does have a free trial. They absolutely do have a free trial. So if you've already used up the free trial, then maybe either a different device or a different email when you're signing up or something like that to try to, get it for just that, one use situation that you're in is definitely something that, I would try to do. Besides Topaz Labs, do you know of any others?
That's free.
Yeah.
No.
Or
but
that has a trial, either one.
I do know.
Can you upscale in CapCut?
I was just going to say, I do know that CapCut has an upscaler, and Daniel's in here. He can probably tell you DaVinci Resolve has an upscaler. Maybe they do. Maybe it's
maybe
a
they do.
plugin. I'm not sure.
Hold on.
But I know a CapCut does have an upscaler. I don't think it's free, so you might have to join for a month in order to get it. And I don't know what the quality's like. I've never used it.
So yes, DaVinci Resolve features a powerful AI-based upscaler called Superscale, designed to increase resolution from HD to 4K or 4K to 8K while enhancing detail. It is primarily available in the paid studio version.
So Daniel says HitPaw has a free trial.
Okay, there we go.
And this
Yeah, it
is
looks
for
like
video,
the paid
right?
version for DaVinci.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so
All right.
HitPaw. Yeah, I'm going to guess any free trial that you come across is probably going to come with a watermark, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's free.
There we go.
There you go. Thanks, Daniel.
Next up on the list, we have Xavier Ray. Xavier Ray, they upload when they have time. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do gaming and live stream content. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. And the question is, good morning, guys. I do gaming and live streaming, but I'm wondering on getting more specific and focusing on racing games, 10 minutes or less videos. I was wondering, since I don't have any racing games on my channel, I heard when you make a new channel, the best thing that you can do is post a few related videos around the same time. So when someone enjoys the video, they have more stuff to watch. Should I post a few videos in the same week so my viewers have something to binge? Yeah, if you're starting a new channel, then that's the approach that a lot of people take. Now, keep in mind, with that, because you already have experience. So since you have experience, you might already know how to put videos together in a way that people, respond to them and all that. So in that case, that's where that works the best, right? Because people come in, they'll enjoy the video. If they really enjoy that video, then YouTube has additional things to recommend to them immediately. And in addition to that, you also have content that's on the channel that allows people to go and hunt down more if they want it. However, if you're brand new, that may or may not, depending on how intuitively you are making good content. If you're brand new, that may or may not be a good move. But you do have experience from what you're saying here. So because of that, if people are responding to your current content, then that is a good approach for the new channel. And one more question here is they have an additional video, and they say, what is your favorite software to use for live streaming? So right now during this stream, we're using a tool called StreamYard, and StreamYard's amazing. It's great. We actually used to work together with StreamYard back in the day. They're an awesome software. There's also a new one called Meld that when I stream at home, I often stream with Meld. I stream with StreamYard at home too, but I'll stream with Meld a lot at home. And the difference is the quality that comes out of Meld is better because you can control the quality. Like with StreamYard, because it's cloud-based, everything is going to them first. They're putting some compression on it, and then they're sending it up to YouTube or whatever platforms you stream to. When it comes to Meld, it's like OBS, if you're familiar with that, where you can adjust all of the settings on the way out. So you can stream really high quality video, and on the receiving end, YouTube will receive really high quality video, and then they'll add their compression to it. So the end result is usually best when it comes from something like Meld or OBS. But the downside is, like right now, if our stream were to go down, then StreamYard would hold the stream open for, I think it's 10 minutes. And that gives us time to come in and join on our phones or something like that. So it creates this, kind of feeling of security. It's like a backup.
You can do that with Meld now.
Oh, really?
Meld has a system that you can now stream up to their cloud.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I didn't know that.
I haven't used it yet.
Okay.
But yeah, you can do that.
Nice. I didn't know that.
I don't know how easy it is.
Okay.
Don't know what all is involved. I just saw a blurb where they were talking about it.
Nice.
So they have something similar now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, Meld is one. Definitely recommend that one. OBS. I mean, I can't hate on OBS in any way, shape, or form. OBS is also great, and StreamYard is also good. But just to give you some options, you also have Ecamm if you're on a Mac. Ecamm has a really good reputation, really good stuff. Doug, who is in here, Doug uses Ecamm for his live streams. They look great. They allow you to put graphics on there and add music and do all the stuff that you want. You have Streamlabs as well. Streamlabs has a live streaming thing that's basically like an OBS skin, and then they added a bunch of extra features to it, which is cool.
vMix.
vMix is another one, and you also have, if you like cloud-based solutions, another cloud-based solution is called EVMux. That's also a good tool as well. So those are just some options, but my personal favorites are StreamYard if I'm doing it through the cloud, and Meld if I'm doing it direct on my machine.
Yeah, I have no affiliation with Meld whatsoever, and I think
it's great.
Yeah. They're probably my favorite. If you're bringing on guests, that's not going to work for you currently. Something like StreamYard would be better.
Yeah.
But or I think Restream. Can you do that with Restream? Can you bring guests in? I think you can.
Restream? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's anyway, there's a couple of them that are like StreamYard. But if I'm just going by myself, just like I just want to stream, want it to look and sound as good as I can get it to sound, I go with Meld. Not because I don't like OBS. It's because I'm lazy. And Meld is a simpler version of OBS. And I don't know if they've skinned OBS or because OBS is open source, so I don't know if they've kind of grabbed some stuff to build off of. I don't know. But it works in a similar fashion, but I find it to be significantly easier than OBS.
Yeah, so Kathy Fitt and Daniel Batal both say that you can bring guests in and Restream.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And Chris, when it comes to AI being safe for your YouTube channel, just to answer this question here really quick, when it comes to AI being safe for your YouTube channel, it all depends on how you use it and what it is that you're doing. So for example, if you're doing something like, hey, I'm going to make this transition where I'm doing this thing and then I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to use Kling's first frame in frame function in order to make that transition. Those types of things are safe. But if you're using it to just bombard a YouTube channel with content to where it's posting a bunch of times per day and the content is just, super low effort, things like that, those are the type of things that YouTube is clamping down on right now.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but I feel compelled to say it again.
Say it.
I find YouTube's stance on AI to be not consistent.
It's not consistent at all.
They're, on one hand, we're going to crack down on
Glad you said that.
low quality AI generated content, and we're going to clamp down on some pretty good AI content as well. While at the same time, here are tools to make AI slop. So we don't want AI slop here, but here's tools to make AI slop.
Yeah.
Make all the AI slop you want with our tools, but don't be surprised if we delete your channel after you make a bunch of AI slop.
Right.
That's a weird place to be.
It is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share something here real quick because I think, because you mentioned that, I think it's just important that we, kind of talk about it real quick.
There's more nuance to it than that, but
actually here I got to take this one down so I can play audio through it too. So they just put out information here. Let's see here. So we're going to go with this one. We're going to hit yes, and then we're going to hit share. Okay. So basically, YouTube using their remix feature.
we cannot see it. Oh yeah, we need to talk about
Yeah, so using their remix feature, YouTube is doing something where they are going to allow users, and they already have this, like Doug, for example, he has this already. But basically, using their remix feature, and if you don't want this to happen on your YouTube channel, make sure when you're uploading videos that you turn off the remix feature. I haven't went in and turned all of mine off yet, but I'm going to because of this. But basically, when it comes to this feature, what they're doing is they're letting people, pretty much anybody, be able to create a completely new video by starting it. It says here by using someone else's shorts. That's not necessarily what it is. It's where you can take a screenshot and then you can start a completely new video with that screenshot. Now, I'm going to show you right here in just a second why I believe this is a bad thing.
I think it's a horrible idea.
Me too. The reason that I think this is a bad thing is because right now, if we go over to my Twitter account, Doug Hewson, and by the way, Roberto Blake, he made this really cool tool. I'm going to show you that too while we're here. But you see me complaining about it right here, here on X. And then if we go down to it, let's see if I can find the one. Yeah, so this is what Doug sent me. So using a screenshot from my channel where I repurpose content, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear this or not, but he took a screenshot and then he was able to make this.
Let's get this viral video started with an enthusiastic expression.
Right? So it looks weird. It's not my voice, all of that. So
Not yet.
Yeah, the thing that I don't like about this is the fact that people can take other people on YouTube and they can make them say things that they didn't say.
Right.
That's the thing that I don't like about it. So they can take your likeness, and YouTube has this feature now that they've also rolled out for like likeness detection. But for the likeness detection, you have to upload your government IDs, and that kind of stuff as well. So like all of that, and they've already got it in AdSense, but they're requesting it again, on YouTube. But these types of things, I think, is going to be a problem, because what this means is that anybody can take a screenshot of me or you, and they can do something like this with it, but they can make it say whatever their system will allow it to say. And that's the thing that I really do not like about this particular feature. Well, and I also think, like you were saying, D, about how their messaging is screwed up. Yeah. To where they, on one hand, they're like, hey, don't make low effort, bad content. And then they make this possible.
Yeah.
Right? To where it's like, hey, just take a screenshot of somebody's short of whatever it is and just feel free to make low effort, bad content with it and flood our platform with it.
Yeah.
I think that whole thing is absolutely ridiculous.
So
and
it bothers me. I did.
Yeah, go.
So I took screenshots from Daniel Battelle.
Yeah.
And I took screenshots from a creator named Colin Michael.
Okay.
And I photoshopped them together sitting side by each.
Colin, what's up, dude?
And I created a whole new channel where they debate each other in American politics.
Nice.
And it's just viral video after viral video.
Good.
Short, yeah, it's incredible.
That's great.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get monetized, which I should get monetized any day now.
Yep.
But they don't even know. And I don't care if they do know, because YouTube said I can do it.
Yep.
So
So really
Sorry,
quick,
guys.
another thing I want to bring to your attention, just because he did a really awesome job at this, and I just want to make sure you guys know about it. Our friend Roberto Blake, if you are, if you hang out in these streams, you've seen him. If you've just been on the internet trying to learn anything about YouTube, you've seen him. But he made a website called Creator Dictionary. And basically what this is a extremely robust dictionary of pretty much anything that you could ever imagine that you want to know about YouTube in terms of what words mean.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
yeah, it's really cool. He executed this like perfectly. But basically with this, it's a dictionary. So if there's any words that you hear being said at any time, I have something similar to this in my new Creator app, but it's not as robust as what he made. And with this, yeah, it has, all of the words for anything that you want. And all you have to do is just type in the word here if you don't know what it means, and this will explain it for you. So yeah, really cool tool that he put together for, the community at scale. So shout out to Roberto for that one, because that's really cool.
The Roberto.
The one and only Roberto Blake.
Yep.
Yep.
And Daniel, the battle is still continuing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anybody who's won that debate yet.
Yep. What's the
Still
debate?
going on?
Between
Colin,
them?
Between Colin and
yeah,
Dan,
they're political debates.
Yeah. There's no winning that debate. It's
Yeah.
like war games. Yeah. Can't win.
Yeah. So the fun thing is like, okay, you know how people do skits on YouTube?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, using this feature, I can go and capture, I won't say Mr. Beast because he lets people use his stuff, but I can go capture some other content creator, and then I can have it make the other side of whatever skit that I was doing.
Yeah.
So like I could say, oh, hey, blah, 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 and then cut to them, and then they're like, hey, yeah, the AI
Right.
version.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to me, and then I go, "La, la, la," and then, we would be able to make a video together, basically a collaboration without their permission.
Right.
It's garbage. Like, that's just a horrible, horrible feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Mark Rober,
Yeah. Right.
right?
Yeah. Or just anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get yours. Yep. And we're gonna do skits
Listen,
together.
I just don't care anymore. You can have mine. Listen, you can have mine. Make it say whatever you want to make it say. Just it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah.
Because
Because now you can just say whatever you want. You can be like, oh no, that was AI.
I didn't
say that. Yeah.
I did not say that.
Yep.
I feel like at this stage we're entering the, we're standing in front of the dam.
Yeah.
And you see the one thing of water coming through, and you stick a finger, your fingers in it, and another one comes out, and you stick your finger in that one,
Right.
Right, and
Right.
oh no, here's another. You got your
Yep.
toe in that
Sure,
one.
sure.
Yeah, that's the stage we're at right now with AI.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I mean, I love AI. I support AI creators. I have an AI channel. I think it's awesome, but
Right.
but they're going to have to change some laws, or stuff's going to get ugly really fast.
Yeah. Colin says, so theoretically, TubeBuddy, which nobody should be using, by the way,
Yep.
says can use this feature to have Nick promoting their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
love it.
technically.
Yeah, they could, technically.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think commercial use would be like a whole other level of issues there
But
when it
that's
comes
what
to
this
that. But
is, though.
technically, yeah, you're giving them permission.
Yeah, but that's
Yep.
what this is.
No, yeah, but it's wild.
Yeah,
So,
it's scary stuff.
so anyway, in order to just make sure that you are covered when it comes to that, if you do not want that option to be available for you, and for people to be able to do that to yours, I mean, technically, they can just screenshot it anyway, just not within that feature, and then they can still do it by uploading it into Veo. However, if you don't want to just make that process easy for them, then just be mindful that when you are uploading videos, that you turn off that remix feature.
And is this activated by default?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All of this stuff should be turned
Yeah, I think
off
it is
by
actually.
default.
I think it is by default,
It's
but
off or
you
on
can
by
change
default?
it in your settings though.
It's on or
your
off
upload
by-
defaults. Yeah,
It's on by default
I
or
think
off?
it's on by default, but you can turn it off in your upload settings. I'm pretty sure. So just double check that just to make sure. But yeah, I think it's on by default.
Yes, Tish, it's exactly that. It's like Wile E. Coyote getting a brand new Acme box.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
It's exactly that. Yeah. Free bird seed. Yeah.
Okay, so next up on our list here, okay, you don't have racing games on my channel. Okay, so we covered that one. So next up, we have It's All His. It's All His uploads one time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do personal finance for Christians. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, I'm feeling discouraged, fully monetized in October, and things are just stagnant. I've been trying to niche down a bit towards my target audience, which are Christians who want to manage money well. but views haven't been great. I've been consistent with posting long form once a week, played with some shorts, and have been using the community tab, but I just feel like I'm spinning my wheels some days. I guess I'm just looking for some words of wisdom and encouragement. Thank you so much. So the first thing I want to say is that Rome wasn't built in a day. And when it comes to being a content creator, these are the types of things that
you had such a great opportunity there to use something like, the Bible wasn't written in a day.
Oh, because it's a Christian thing. Yeah.
Or some big mathematical equation. You know what I mean?
That's good, yeah.
You had two opportunities. One, you had faith on one hand, and you had accounting and mathematics on another.
Yeah, you're right. I blew it, man. I blew it.
And you went to Rome.
Yeah, you're right. I blew it.
Yeah.
We've been derailed. Now we've been derailed.
Okay, so when it comes to your content, I'm actually going to go and I'm going to look at your channel here really quick and just see what it is that you're doing. But in terms of wisdom and encouragement, the thing that I do want to share with you is that what you're dealing with right now is part of being a content creator. You go through these ups and downs, and you have you're putting in a lot of work in what it is that you're doing. You're not seeing the results that you would like to get out of it. And because of that, it seems like there's not a light at the end of the tunnel, and it makes you, feel like you're wasting your time, right? And that sucks, right? However, what you're going through right now is a very normal part of YouTube. And I want you to know that right now I'm looking at your YouTube channel, and you have 1.43 thousand subscribers on your YouTube channel.
That's great.
So just so you know, even though your view counts aren't there yet, what you've already accomplished on your YouTube channel is more than most people who start YouTube channels get to. Okay,
Yeah.
So just be mindful of that. And when it comes to what you're doing, the first thing that I do recommend is that you do make it clear. I'm actually going to pull up your channel here really quick. And I recommend that you do make it clear from the outside that this is for the Christians that you are trying to reach.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting that messaging for some of these.
Yeah, so like right here, right? Like where we have with this do this first. I got to give myself permissions on this thing here real quick. But where you have the do this first, that doesn't really speak to anybody that's interested in finance, but it especially doesn't speak to, Christians that are into finance, I would assume. So because of that, when it comes to this sort of thing, you want to make sure that you are focusing on the things in your thumbnails that the people that you're trying to reach will connect with first. So right here, the smallest thing, the thing that would actually matter the most to helping somebody that is having financial trouble and they're trying to get out of debt, the thing that would grab their attention first is the thing that you've made the hardest to identify in your thumbnail, which is this out of debt part, right? So you've added it in there, but you focused on do this first. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine, and we'll just do it here. So if we look at this and we imagine that there isn't a title on here, right? Then what you want to do is you want to look at this and say to yourself, okay, if I didn't have my title and the only thing that I had to connect with people that are with Christians that are into finance, the only thing that I had was this image. What could I put in this image to help them identify that this content is about something that they might care about, right? So here, do this first. That's not it. Get out of debt. Definitely it, right? And then here, don't pay off your debt yet. This is also good because, well, it's actually pretty vague in terms of the title, but the fact that you have, pay off your debt in there is a good thing. But another thing also is because you are targeting Christians specifically, right now, anybody can click on this, which might be okay, depending on your plan for this channel, but anybody can click on this regardless of, what they believe in. So if you're trying to serve anybody that's interested in finance, then in that case, you're doing that job right now. When it comes to serving Christians specifically, if that's who you're targeting, that's who you want to attract, then in that case, you need to also make that clear in some way through the imagery that you are putting in your thumbnails or having something in your title. So for example, instead of don't pay off your debt yet, right? Because you're basically telling them don't pay off your debt. This is why Christians shouldn't, and of course, we're not going to worry about my bad, title case that I'm not using there. This is why Christians shouldn't pay off your debt, right? So then this way, you are putting an audience identifier in here, which is basically calling out those people. Keep in mind, this can be limiting, right, temporarily, but down the road, as more and more Christians start interacting with this can be okay. But this is why Christians shouldn't pay off your debt, okay? Now, keep in mind, if you are targeting Christians, you don't necessarily have to put it here. People can just learn that through the content based on the references you make and things like that. There's a lot of people that take that approach too, so that they can have just a broader appeal with the content. However, if you are just wanting to connect with Christians, then doing this type of thing will make sure that Christians are, the people that are clicking on your content the most, because they know it's for them, right? So step one, make sure that it's clear here that this has something to do with the problems that your people are having, so that they can identify that this has something to do with what it is that they care about. So here, get out of debt, right? That's number one. Number two is, if you are trying to reach Christians and you're not going to just, share that messaging in your content, then in that case, adding these types of things is something to consider. And then also making your titles a little bit more compelling. Instead of just "don't pay off your debt," this is why you shouldn't pay off your debt, right? Those types of things can also be advantageous. And basically rinse and repeat that through this entire thing. So here, same exact thing, right? Missing the point. So if we don't have the title, I need a button on here where I can turn this off for the title. But when it comes to the title, right, missing the point, again, this doesn't say anything about finance. So the reason that this is important is because, let's say that I log into YouTube, or your target viewer logs into YouTube, and they're sitting here scrolling, right, looking for something to watch. Right here, like right now, right, because I'm into tech stuff, so I saw this and it grabs my eye, right? And I'm like, oh, what is this, right? And I know Stream Deck just put out this thing. But in this case, this object right here helped me identify, like, hey, this is something tech related. I'm into tech. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to see here and see what this video is about, right? And then as we keep scrolling, same thing. Oh, Bangkok, what is this, right? Because, I'm there for that, right? So those types of things are the things that you want to do, so that the people that you're trying to reach can easily identify your content, so that they'll stop. And that's it. So they'll stop for a second and look at your title and be like, hey, what is this about, right? So that's what you want to do when it comes to your content.
In addition to that,
and we didn't go into any videos either, so I'm not sure what the
Right.
content's like. But just on the packaging side, there's a lot of work that you need to do there. So I would go through your entire content library when you have time, and use the information that I just shared, and redo everything it is that you currently have.
if you are trying to reach Christians, and you're like, this is who I want watching my videos, this is who I'm trying to reach, then at a glance, at a split second, if any of your videos are shown by themselves anywhere in YouTube, your ideal viewer, the Christian who's interested in accounting, bookkeeping, finance, should be able to go, oh, that's for me. That's for me. So there needs to be something either visually or in your title or both, to where someone that you're trying to reach doesn't even have to think about what's going on. They're like, oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yep.
So that's what, when he's talking about getting your packaging together, that's one of the things he's talking about. Mm-hmm. And Daniel brought up a good question here. If someone is not of the same faith as you, are you presenting your videos in a way to where anybody could follow along? Because I think that's just going to open you up a little bit more. You can still have the right packaging, but just when it comes to the video, you could probably get a little bit of a larger reach as when you do present the content, that it's something that anyone could follow along to. But that's a creative choice.
Yeah, there's power and focus in terms of, focusing in on an audience. So focusing on Christians is, smart. However, depending on your approach and what it is that you're offering, that may or may not, right, help or hurt.
Yeah, it's a creative choice you get to make.
Yeah, like different positionings could be, like finance, for people under 30, that kind of stuff. I just made a video for Opus Clip, actually, where I gave that as a reference, talking about, just understanding who it is that you're after, because, and I'm saying this because you make finance content, is, like people that are 30 have different, financial outlooks than people that are, 40 or 50, right? You take different approaches for those things, or 25. Yeah. So because of that, that type of targeting can also be powerful based on, the value that you're trying to or that type of positioning, I mean, can be powerful to make sure that all of your video ideas line up. Because the problem is, if you're just on general finance content and you have somebody come in where you're solving a problem for somebody, let's say in their early 30s, then you publish another video that isn't really relevant to them. It's still finance, but it's not really relevant to them, but it's relevant to, you know, the financial situation of somebody in their 40s. Then in that case, you know, YouTube might show them the video. But because it's not relevant to them, then in that case, they're still not going to click on it, even though it's still finance and they're into finance content, right? So, you know, those types of things can also be powerful when it comes to your channel.
Yeah, she said she's tried more general videos, but more people unsubscribe without the focus. Yeah. All right, go all in.
Hey, Tango in the Kitchen, thank you for the super chat. Yes,
Super
absolutely.
chat.
Everybody turn your clocks forward. You know, any of you that are in a place where the time zones change, turn your clocks forward. They don't change where we're at, so we move by what they do over there.
Right?
Yep.
That means
Who is it? Is it Switzerland that said that's going to be their last change?
So yeah, somebody said was it Switzerland or Norway or something?
Yeah, one of those places.
One of them said enough.
Yeah, yep. They're like, hey, we're just not. Let's cut it out. Let's cut it out, guys. We're just not going to do that anymore.
Right. They came to their senses. What a crazy thing to do.
It is.
It's absolute disruption. Like, all right, today's the day.
Yep.
Move them clocks.
Right.
It's so bizarre, man. So
Yeah, Monique
weird.
says that there's 2 more weeks where she is. Yeah.
That's even crazier. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not all synced up. Yeah, it's wild.
Just everybody just needs to go to military time.
We should just all agree on something and say, hey, this is what time it is, and then move forward from there.
Right?
Yeah.
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 Just start calling around.
Yeah, call it, hey guys, you know, I mean, we can do it right now. You know, we can just be like, hey, you know, this is what time it is, and then we can just all pick and be like, yeah, okay, that's what time it is.
That's what time it is.
And then we'll just keep going from
all
there.
right. We'll just everybody like starting now. We're just going to make sure that the sundials that we put together in the backyard are accurate.
Yep.
And we just move
we
forward
just go
based
from
on
there.
this time.
Yep.
Yeah. How hard is that?
Right.
All right.
Okay, so next up we've got Rib Zone Football Cards is the next channel. They upload 1 time per week or more. They
Columbia. Okay, good.
they open football card packs and boxes. And the goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. And the question is, what's up, Niven Brothers? What's happening?
What's
Hope you're doing
up?
great.
What's up?
So my current content strategy is live stream on Sunday, then edit that live stream down to a tighter video, remix it into shorts. I usually get no live viewers, but 20 to 60 views on the replay, and then 40 to 100-ish views on the edited video. All of my new subscribers are coming from shorts. How long should I keep this strategy before I pivot? My pivot would just be to do higher quality edited video every week and post the shorts and forget the live streams for now. My current live streaming setup is only 1080p, and the new higher quality videos would be 4K and have more editing. So I recommend that you experiment with going the other way. Reason I recommend that is you already have the thing in place that you're doing. So you are, you know, getting people to respond to it. And when it comes to live stream content, because it's not made necessarily for the edit, right? Or for the replay, like there's things that you can do to make it better for the replay, but it's still not made for the replay. So because of that, you might be able to put something together when you're doing the actual video content that you put together something that's just a much better experience for people to where they'll, one, you can, pick the topic since it's going to be a small condensed video. You can pick the topic for it and then you can package it up, based around that topic. And then you can just focus on making a really good video. And because you do have the opportunity to fully edit the thing, and you know exactly what you're going to be saying instead of, saying or doing whatever it is that you're doing and then having to make it work, you can design that entire, flow for people. So because of that, I would definitely experiment with videos and see, see if you get a better result out of the video content.
Build with Mooney says, preach it, D.
Yep.
I'm going to bring sundials back. Mm-hmm. Somebody has to do it.
Yep. Brad, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing great. Nice to see you in here. So next up, English Woodsman. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. The type of channel is outdoors and wild camping. The goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, hey, mother from the same mother. Yeah, close. It's close.
There.
Close. That's pretty close. Says, sorry I'm late to the party. Just got back from hiking around volcanoes this morning in Lanzarote. Do you know where Lanzarote is?
I don't.
I don't either. Says, you can give me some links to contact people at YouTube about an idea for YouTube, but no one seems interested to help. What can I do, please? My idea will help creators and viewers. So reach out, create an account on X, reach out to Team YouTube on X, and share your idea there and see if they will, see if they'll reply to you or if they will just take that idea in.
Good luck.
Yep, good luck.
Hey, Sue, how
You might have something cool. They might see it and go like, wow, that is a really cool idea. We better run this up the chain.
Yeah.
So it's like if you have a cool idea, definitely reach out to them about it.
Or you could start a business and do the thing, and then maybe they could buy you for like,
$1 billion.
$20 billion in
Yeah.
3 years.
Like vibe code the thing, whatever
Right,
it is.
right.
Yeah, whatever your idea is, vibe code it and then sell it to YouTube in like a year for $20 billion.
Yeah, and then they'll just like not even use it.
Yeah, and they'll just take it just for the concept.
Right.
Yeah. So Agent Casual's Absurdities is the next channel here. They're getting ready to start their channel. The type of channel is random, absurdness, crazy, weird, what the heck type scenario videos that just cross my mind as ideas. What do you expect from a channel with the word absurdities in the name? D.
Absurdities.
There we go. Okay.
I mean, absurdities, just odd tidbits,
Yep.
weird news, unusual things that people don't think about.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
So really quick, Casual Agent. This is Agent Casual, formerly Casual Opinionator from last week. They say, last weekend I sent a question about my channel name, what my channel name should be. I've made some changes, and like their profile page, their name and bio, and they're going to change the banner soon. Can you tell me how I did so far and what I could do better? Yeah, why not? Yeah, we'll pull you up and see where you're at on just getting it all together here. I'll do a quick check on my end first, make sure that it's okay to pull up. Yep, quick gander. A quick one of these. Okay.
Can we have another one of those?
Another one of these. Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely. Okay, so the very first thing is clarity. So right here, you say, "Hey, crazy agents, I'm Agent Casual, and welcome to the agency."
Oh, I remember this one. Okay.
So something I'm going to show you here really quick is we are going to go here. We're going to copy that, and then we're going to go to x.com. Let's say right now I were to. Oh, hey, Opus is still doing their contest. By the way, guys, if you want to take a swing at winning $10,000 using Opus Clip's new story mode, they have a contest going on right now. You can follow Agent Opus AI on Twitter, and you get more information on that. So just a heads up. But okay, let's see if I paste it here. Let's see if it shows the cards. And it doesn't show the card. Come on, show the card.
Show it.
Okay, here, we're going to do it this way.
All right, old school.
Hey, everybody. Check out this. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is what I'm trying to show you, is if you look right here, if I were to share this out right now, and I was just getting ready to do it just to see this preview, but it says Agent Casual's Absurdities, and it says, "Hey, crazy agents, I'm Agent Casual, and welcome to the agency, a place where random nonsense is," right? So let's say that the people that are, and this is just a minor tweak, this isn't going to be something that blows up your channel, but these are the types of details that as you're getting started, you should always be mindful of these types of things. Yep. And to be clear, at the end of the day, these are minor things that add up over time, but all of your effort when you're getting started should be put towards learning how to come up with great video ideas, package those ideas, and making great video content. And then, of course, there's other things around that, like, understanding what you're trying to do, who it is you're doing it for, all those types of things too. But making the video content, that is going to carry a lot more weight than just doing this thing that I'm telling you right now. I'm just trying to bring this to your attention, though. So if somebody were to share you out, and the same thing applies to Facebook and anywhere else, they show you additional information here that's connected to the channel. So what you want to do is when you're writing your About Me page on your YouTube channel, you want to make sure that you are making this about the viewers, right? So this is all fun. Hey, crazy agents, I'm Agent Casual, blah, blah. But if people start sharing your content out because they love it, and they're like, oh, you got to check out this guy, this, blah, 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 then in that case, you want to make sure that if somebody shares this out, that you speak to your target viewer here, and that you're like, hey, this is what I offer on the channel, right? On Agent Casual, we are, and then fill in the blank, or I am, fill in the blank, or you'll see, fill in the blank, right? And then by doing that, you're making sure that you're optimizing all of this for when people share your content out. So since that's where you're at so far, that's why I wanted to show you that, because you were asking about it, and just give you a quick tip on that side of things. But again, remember, your content and, your approach to, how you're going to, grow the channel and all those things, and like how you're going to connect with the people that are interested in your type of content. All those things are the most important things. Those little details, like I was showing, they're important. But again, the content, that's where that's where the real change happens.
The real change.
The real change. Van City Adventures, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. So next up on our list here, we've got. We did Agent Absurdities. So we have Beast Mentality. Beast Mentality, they do bi-weekly content, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do horror gaming content. Goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator. And the question is, so my long-form videos be struggling, but my shorts do well. Do I focus more on shorts or the long forms to get to that monetization point for my channel? So something that you need to know is if your shorts are doing okay, but your long form is not, what that means is that you need to work more on your long form content, okay? And the reason for that is when it comes to YouTube Shorts, you are playing a completely different sport when it comes to YouTube Shorts compared to long form content. So the difference is when it comes to YouTube Shorts, they just show up in somebody's feed. They happen to people. YouTube also shows them to people all over the platform as well, and people can come in that way too. But the traffic that you're getting right now, I'm assuming, is most likely going to be from the Shorts feed. So because of that, what's happening is as people are scrolling, your video just pops up. Boom, there it is. They don't have to click on it. You don't have to be clear in a thumbnail about the video. The video idea still has to be good, and you have to be able to hook their attention when they first start, the short. But you're removing a huge part of long form content, and you only have to grab their attention for just a very, very small amount of time. Whereas when it comes to long form content, your ideas have to be good enough that people will, on a homepage or suggested videos or even YouTube search, to where people will say, oh, wow, this looks interesting. Let me click on this right now, right? So because of that, you're playing two totally different games. And you also have to make sure that your thumbnails help them identify your content's about something they care about and all those things. So there's just a lot more involved when it comes to long-form content. So based on your current shorts views, based on how things look right now, it's going to be really challenging for you to meet the shorts requirements for monetization, right? Like you're going to have to publish a ton of YouTube Shorts in order to hit that with your...
You're not showing them?
Yeah.
Okay.
In order to hit that with your current view counts. And right now, like last month, like you did you did 3 shorts last month, right? Like that's not going to cut it with the current view counts that you're getting. So because of that, based on your question, which is, hey, I'm trying to get into the YouTube partner program, should I go with long form or shorts? Work on your long form content. And the reason that you should work on your long form content, still do shorts, but work on your long form content. So use shorts right now to try to increase your subscribers. Use long form content and practice long form content and practice trying to make it better and making it about topics that people care about at scale within your niche and that kind of stuff. So use your shorts for the subscriber count, use your long form content for the watch time. And then combining those two, that's the approach that you want to take for, and hopefully people subscribe to your video content too, but it's just easier to get subscribers from shorts. So publish a lot of shorts for the subscriber count, publish long form content for the watch time based on what it is that you're currently offering. And if you're wanting to get in the partner program, you're also going to need to do more on the long form side too. You're either one, going to have to make videos that people respond to at a higher rate, or two, you're going to have to start making more videos, right? So you're going to have to make a decision there also if you're trying to get into the partner program.
Hey, Renee. Good to see you.
Renee Ritchie in the house.
YouTube's creator lazy.
Renee Ritchie has arrived.
Next up on our list, we have...
So Renee's talking about Mandalorian stuff. So the movie Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out.
I do. Yeah, that's in May.
In May.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to that.
I might dust off the old outfit and go hang out at the cinemas.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
maybe. So you might get some social media posts with old Mandalorian D over here.
No, Mandalorian D.
Yeah.
I love it.
Dusting it off.
Mandalorian D.
So this is a true story. We went to when they played, it was The Force Awakens.
Yes.
When The Force Awakens came out, we went out and we have the Stormtrooper stuff. We go to the cinema.
We did it for the next one too, didn't we?
Yeah, we did it.
But
the Force of Awakens. That was
yeah,
Force
huge.
Awakens was huge,
Yeah.
right? So we go to the cinema, and it's in the mall, and we're in Thailand, and just mall security just mobbed us because we had helmets on. We had stormtrooper, and they made us take off our helmets to go up to the top floor to where the cinema was, and they were like creeping on us and like following us to make sure we didn't put on our stormtrooper helmets while they were doing a Star Wars
thing.
A Star Wars thing.
I understand from a security perspective. I understand that, but the funny thing
But
is
Star Wars.
now.
But Star Wars. Yeah.
Now we have a local service that's like Uber, and because the locals, they don't want like sun on their skin and like all this other stuff. So because of that, they wear full face masks.
Yeah.
They look like ninja masks.
Yeah.
So they didn't want stormtrooper helmets, but they're
Right.
totally cool
They're like
if a
ninja
bunch of
masks.
dudes are running around in ninja masks in the
Yeah.
mall.
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
Carrying bags of stuff.
Yeah, carrying
running
bags with
running around the
masks
mall
on.
with ninja masks, carrying like big bags of
Right.
stuff.
Well, let's stop the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, fair.
To be fair, I mean, it is a Mandalorian and a stormtrooper showing up, so
Yeah.
Well, actually, we were both stormtroopers at that
At the time we were both stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this time's going to be Mandalorian, and I think I'll put up a fight.
Yeah. And I just dropped a video in here to D's Mandalorian. It's a video that we made in 2019. I'm the stormtrooper there, and D is the Mandalorian. And D made both of these costumes that you see in that video. And here, I'm gonna share this on screen real quick so you can see it. But yeah, this one right here is me, and this one is D. Let me see if we can find a better shot here. I can actually just play it. Here, hold on real quick.
I forgot about the video.
Yep. Yeah, so this is the video. We can just play it right here. So it's not going to have audio. It's better with the audio. But yeah, this is us at a different Star Wars. It was somewhere around the holidays. I don't know if this is a Star Wars or we just went out for fun. I can't remember.
I think there was a Star Wars thing going on.
Yep. Yeah, but this is us out there doing Star Wars cosplay.
In the heat of Thailand.
Yep. It was
Sweating.
cool season, though. It wasn't too bad, but it was
Yeah.
still hot, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what I'm thinking about doing, and we're going to go back to YouTube in just a second. I'm thinking about, because it's the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
And of course, my Mandalorian is a different Mandalorian. But I have a very realistic looking Grogu. So I saw they have they have the backpacks here. They're like little plastic containers that you put a pet in it. So I think I'm going to get one of those to make a Grogu backpack and make it look like it's part of my Mandalorian costume, but it's Grogu in the bubble.
Oh, nice.
So instead of a cat or the little dog in the bubble,
Nice.
it'll be Grogu.
Oh, that's cute.
Little backpack. I think it'll be cute.
You know what? Or you can cosplay a Yoda, our little Grogu outfit.
Yeah.
And we can put it on popcorn, and you can run around with popcorn in the backpack.
That might work too.
Spray paint him green.
Yeah, that
Yep,
might
and
work.
then just put him in the backpack because he's got the ears already.
Yeah.
So that might work.
That might work. All right.
Derailed.
Oh, cover this one really quick.
So has anyone really gotten Gmail, has recently
Recently.
gotten Gmail requesting proof of age in the form of driver's licenses, etc.? So YouTube viewers are getting those where they are sending those out. In terms of emails, I'm not sure. I know usually you'll see it inside of YouTube. Like when you're accessing YouTube, then they'll make the request there. I would be really careful about responding to any email about that. If it happens on platform, you're interacting with YouTube and there's a pop-up that happens, then in that case, engage with it. But I would be really cautious about responding to that out of your email. All right. So next up, yeah, that's funny.
Thanks, Jive Dance.
Yeah, Brad says safest place to be is in front of a stormtrooper. They'll never hit you. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, true. Ray Ray's Garden is the next channel. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. The type of channel is gardening advice from a natural perspective. And the question is, for some reason, my views have completely tanked lately. My last video, the CTR was fairly good. Then after a few days, views just stopped. Hoping you can take a look at my channel and give some general advice, etc. Gardening season is officially starting soon. And this weekend, I'm going to film how-to videos on making a planter from a whiskey barrel. So let's see what it is that you have going on here, Ray. Let's go ahead and get you pulled up here.
Pull them up.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
Okay. So next up, we've got Ray. So let's see what you got going on here. All right. So
Not growing, winter's not wasted, survival crops. What you growing?
okay, so first, when it comes to 9 things winter taught me about gardening and life, I think that's good because you have the gardening in there. Winter isn't wasted. I would still make this about gardening, a little bit, show more, gardening, perspectives, like a little bit less sky, a little bit more, garden, so people can connect with that. The crops I'd grow if food prices got worse. Oh, that's smart. Yeah. So other things too, right, is being more compelling. And some people, they don't like this approach. Some people, it's fine because they understand that it's just general, copywriting and basically, how you get people to click on stuff a little bit easier sometimes. Kind of like your "this was a mistake" thing is, instead of, survival crops, like, how to survive, with, from your garden or, something like that. Is just a way to kind of package this in a way to where it's just gives it a little bit more oomph. And here I think, the crops I'd grow if food prices got worse. Yeah. And there's other things you can do here too. Like, crops I'll grow with our food price disaster or, something like that. Or when, or crops I'm growing now because food prices are getting worse, right? Those types of things, just to try to give it a little bit more oomph. Yeah. So from the outside, I think for some of these, like, the what are you growing, that should be connecting with people, how to pick the perfect chili pepper for your backyard. Definitely put the word garden in there. But like these types of, thumbnails and stuff, I think some of these are okay, especially this one here. But I think that I think some of these could be better in terms of just being more, giving them more oomph, making them more impactful. Here on the imagery, I would definitely focus more on the garden, right? Versus, here where you have a lot of sky in it and that kind of stuff. Put garden in here somewhere. Winter didn't destroy my garden or something like that. Scoville is not heat. Okay, and then another thing, just to bring this to your attention also, because it looks like you got some chili stuff going on here, which is okay. But one thing to keep in mind is if you are trying to reach people that are into gardening, is try to make sure that your videos are about gardening and that it's clear from the outside that your videos are about gardening. And the reason that's important is because if you have people that are interacting with this that are into like chilies and hot sauces and things like that, but they don't care about the gardening, then in that case, you're bringing in the wrong crowd here, right? So when you're trying to get everything moving on the channel and trying to get some type of consistent baseline, the idea is to think about, okay, I'm creating content for a certain type of viewer that's interested in certain things. And because of that, I'm going to make sure that every video that I publish on the channel, at least until I start picking up some, real momentum on the channel, I got to make sure that every video is targeted towards those people. That's just general best practice when it comes to YouTube. Some people can do it without doing that, but most people, they need to take that path. So because of that, I would just get clear, like as you're going into the gardening season, I would get clear on exactly who it is that you're targeting with this content and make sure that it's clear that it's for them from the outside. And then from there, once you do that, then, because we don't watch videos during this stream, but, and then from there, just start looking at your videos and watching your videos and comparing your videos to other people who make gardening content that are doing well, and just look for things that they might be doing that you might not be doing. And when it comes to the actual video content, in terms of things that are going to hold people's attention, that's the approach that you want to take with this.
Renee says that's the actual definition of consistency, not
Yep.
posting cadence, audience focus.
Yep. Yeah, and consistency in like messaging and everything, like all of it. Yeah, all the way across the board. So next up, we've got...
Hold on, I didn't derail anything. Liz is my design Sherpa says, I tune in and already sideways. Derailed again. What did I derail?
Melinda Elliott, thank you for 39 months of support. Glad that you're enjoying the content. Says, always great stuff here. Thank you so much. So next up, we have Alpha Yang Delete is the name of the YouTube channel here. They do daily content. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do niche sci-fi gaming content. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I just started making shorts this year and have experienced major growth. I was wondering if you could critique my page and send me in the right direction to keep the momentum going. So if you've gained major growth, then definitely keep going in the direction that you are currently going. But let's take a look at what it is that you're doing. Okay, so first I'm just kind of looking to see what it is that you have going on here. So it looks like you haven't published a long form video in 2 months. And let me go to your shorts. And yeah, so when it comes to shorts, you've got, here, I'll just go ahead and switch to this. So when it comes to shorts, it looks like you've got, 6,000 views, 10,000 views, 15,000 views. Yeah, so you're doing really well in shorts. People are responding to your shorts, which is great. 141,000 views on this one. Nice work. So with this, I'm not sure if you're just going to continue doing shorts or if you're going to also be doing long form content. But if you are doing long form content, I would definitely consider that whatever it is that you're doing in all of these, if you can make longer versions of that or complementary versions of this to where these people would be likely to watch it if it was being presented to them on YouTube's homepage or suggested videos or the subscription feed, I would definitely, consider that for the actual topics of the videos themselves. Stellar's One System Challenge. So it looks like you might already be doing that. But another thing that I would experiment with is when it comes to your current videos and when it comes to the future videos that you're going to publish, because you have had a lot of people interacting with your content. What's the date on these? Hold on. Because you have had a lot of people interacting with your content recently, I would also add yourself, test adding yourself to some of your thumbnails too. Because you're doing like multiple shorts per day, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Yeah, so you have a lot of people interacting here recently. So because of that, putting yourself in there, same outfit, everything, because that's how they are seeing you and getting to know you, essentially. So because of that, make it to where they can recognize you. So if they show your content to them on the homepage, so that they know it's you, because you're wearing very obvious stuff here that would stand out to, somebody from a perspective of like, oh yeah, I remember that guy, right? So because of that, I would definitely consider that when it comes to the long form content. However, if you are just wanting to keep going with shorts, which is also perfectly fine, then in that case, what you need to do is you need to go and start looking through every single one of these and start looking for patterns of what people responded to. So go to, like, for example, go into this one with 141,000 views and this one with 24,000 views and this one with 28,000 views. Go into these 31,000 views and literally take a notepad. You can do this in Google Docs or you can, write it down in a notepad, but start going through and taking note of everything it is that you're doing in these videos and then start comparing it to what it is that you're doing in the other videos. And this is things like, what is it that I'm saying or showing when the video first starts? Like, what is the first thing people see? What is it I'm talking about? How is it that I'm addressing them? What words am I saying when they first get started? Those types of things. And just look for anything that's standing out on these videos that are doing well compared to the ones that are not. Sometimes it's just the topic, right? The topic just doesn't land. However, because you do have a nice amount of videos that have higher view counts on them, you can mine those videos for information on how people respond to them. And as a part of that, all of these have audience retention reports. And where you're at right now, you want to be looking at those, right? You want to be going to your audience retention reports on these shorts and trying to figure out, like, okay, how many people am I getting to the end? And with the people that are dropping, like, why do I think they're dropping out, in these areas, and try to get a better understanding of what it is that the people that YouTube thinks your content is a good fit for, what it is that they are responding to at the highest level. So that's the approach that you want to take when it comes to this. Even little details too. Like, I love that you have the Stellaris in here because I guess that's the core of what it is that you're talking about. It's really smart that you are putting that here as part of the title text as people are, being presented these on, different pages of YouTube and all that. So that side of things is great. And another thing that I would do is I would look at these videos, like this one here with the 141,000 views and this one here with like the 24, just the ones that have done, better than the others. And I would also look to see where you're getting views from for these, because I'm going to guess a lot of it's the short self, probably most of it. But I would look, and I would look in the traffic sources for these and just make sure that, that you're not getting search traffic from these or homepage traffic for these, just so you can start to get an idea where people are coming from as well. Because, like, for example, if you're getting your traffic from the shorts feed and you start, looking at your audience retention and you're like, okay, this is how people are responding in the shorts feed, but then you find another video where you're getting a lot of the traffic from YouTube's recommendation system, then in that case, you can say, okay, well, this is how people are responding there. Are these things matching up based on what it is that I'm doing in the videos? That kind of stuff. AJ's Green Topics, what's going on? Hope you are doing great, AJ. Ron's Trains and Things, what's up, man? Hope you're doing awesome. He says he really needs to proofread his content. Ash Borland, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing great. Nice to see you in here. K&J Lumber, what is going on? Okay, so next up on our list here, we've got Ben Abe. I hope I'm saying that correctly, Ben. They upload 1 time per week or more, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do culture content. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator. The question is, how much does quantity matter? Quality is always important. Is the best strategy always to be constantly uploading and having a library of content? Is it good to see my channel as a TV channel with different shows, programs? Do playlists still matter or not too much? Okay, so when it comes to, hey, Melanie, what's going on? Nice to see you in here too. So when it comes to quantity, if you know how to make good content that people respond to, then quantity sometimes can be advantageous because you're basically giving people more of what it is that they love from you. So as a part of that, let's say you normally upload 1 video a week. Well, next thing you know, if you're uploading 3 videos a week, you're putting out 3x the content that you normally would put out. So as long as you keep your quality standard there and you're trying to, continue, improving and all that stuff, then in that case, you're giving yourself, 2 additional chances every single week of creating something that your audience really loves. And as long as they have a tolerance for it, which they probably will, as long as they have a tolerance for it to where, they still click on them and they still come in and watch them a lot, then in that case, it can be advantageous to publish more videos. However, if your videos take a long time to make and, all those things, and you're going to really stress yourself out by, by doing that, I recommend that you lean on sustainability first and make sure that what it is that you're doing is sustainable, and then slowly increase to make sure that you can maintain sustainability, because this is a long game, like I'm sure you've heard, and this is something you're going to be doing for a while. So because of that, making sure that you do focus on sustainability first, and then from there, if you think that you can publish more and maintain your quality standard, then try it and see if your audience responds well to it. But you're essentially, as long as they do, you're essentially giving yourself the opportunity to double, right? If you add an extra video, double the results that you're getting from your YouTube channel, or possibly triple them if you, were to go to 3 times per week, depending on, again, what's sustainable for you. In terms of playlists are good because content dependent, of course, but they're good for some channels or some types of content. They do show up in YouTube search. And in addition to that, which means people can just enter and, and just binge watch stuff. In addition to that, it's smart to do playlists for the sake of having content organized around your channel where you can put them on your channel page, things like that. It's also smart to lead people into playlists from your end screens of your videos, and sometimes from your community feed as well. And the reason for that is because when you lead people into a playlist, it's just, like the visuals are focused on your content instead of them getting distracted by, other content. And it also makes it easy. Like if you're doing series and stuff like that, it makes it easy for them to just follow through the series and see other content that's in that series. So yeah, so playlists definitely still do matter.
Hey, Mel, good to see you.
And really quick, Renee mentions here, if your goal is growth, it's better to think about a YouTube channel as a TV show, not a TV channel. People pick and choose shows to watch on channels, not so much episodes of shows. Yep, love that framing. Yep. Next up, we've got AQ Alchemy is the name of the channel. AQ Alchemy uploads when they have time. The type of channel is mystical woo-woo. What do you think that might be? A mystical woo-woo channel. What is that? What do you think that means?
Mystical woo-woo. Mm-hmm. That could be a range of like tarot card readings and like star readings and, historical stuff. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, you just went off the rails on that one. Yeah. Right?
I mean, mystical
like,
woo-woo.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm thinking it's more like astrology. That's what I'm thinking with mystical woo-woo.
Stars, yeah.
Yeah. So the goal of the channel?
Mel's like, I want to know what he's munching on. So here's the funny thing. I turned off my mic, and then I took a bite of this, and then he asked me a question. I think he does this on purpose sometimes. Yeah.
So the goal is to be a full-time content creator here, and the question is, my content is mostly live form currently, which can be harder to find on a channel for a new viewer. So I've been taking my live content, post, edit, duplicating it, and posting it under the videos tab, which now allows me A/B testing, the ability to premiere the replay, etc. When I do this, I leave the actual live stream private. My question is, it seems the replay video struggles with getting views like it's my least viewed content. Does YouTube frown upon the duplicating? So if you do a live stream, you take it down, you make it private because you download it and then you edit it into a tighter piece of content and you upload it as, something new. Then in that case, that's okay. It's fine to do that. The problem that you might be running into is that when it comes to content that's recorded live, in a lot of cases, it doesn't make the best video, right? So that's why people, create videos for the sake of, publishing into the videos side. So with you doing your, with you doing the live streams and cutting them out, you're having to force that content to work around what you've already done. And in a lot of cases, sometimes it works out, but in a lot of cases, that leaves a lot of, just kind of holes, so to speak, in what it is that you're doing. And it might not create the best experience for viewers. So when you create content for the sake of putting it into the videos tab or publishing a video on YouTube, then you're kind of doing everything in reverse compared to what it is that you're doing on a live stream. So you're planning out the content. I mean, you can still plan your live stream, but you might retake what it is that you're saying a few times just to make sure that you get it right so that you have enough to work with in the edit so that once you get into, you open up your software and you start working on the video, then you have a lot of material that you can work with to put together the best video possible versus we've got all this stuff that happened in the live stream. I'm trying to force it into a video. I'm going to design this video in a way that people are going to really enjoy it compared to I'm going to try to force this experience.
What's the name of the channel?
The channel is AQ Alchemy.
Oh, okay. So they said I got it.
You got what?
Both of them.
What are you talking about?
You asked me what the channel was. You asked me about the what I thought the channel meant, the name or the what the channel was, and I said tarot card reading and.
Oh, yeah.
They just said, you got it, D, both.
Oh, nice. Nice.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Just want to do.
Nice.
Just want to rub it in that I nailed it.
Nice. Homekeeping channel. What's going on?
We will talk about this all the way home.
Yeah. See, I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they came in, I knew it. Yeah.
I love it. That's right.
You're watching them live.
We're aligned.
Mm-hmm. So next up, we have the average homeowners. Not the best, not the worst, but the average homeowners.
We're all right.
Yeah,
we're all right.
Yeah, we're okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. I mean, it's average.
I mean, it's not necessarily a money pit, but it's it's
average.
Value hasn't really raised much either.
Yeah, but it hasn't. Yeah, hasn't went up. Hasn't really dropped either.
Yeah.
It's just been
neighbors
average.
are all right.
Yeah. Neighbors are okay. Schools they're all right. They're okay.
Kids are all right.
Yeah,
I guess
everything's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can't complain.
So they do bi-weekly content. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do homeowner advice and DIY. I don't know. They're on average. They're average. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Yeah, if I'm trying to fix my door, I don't know if I want an average door.
An average door hung door. Yeah.
Yeah, I want
Average door
solid.
hanging.
Yeah, I want solid. Mounting things. On the door.
Yeah. I want my
Not
plumbing
average
to
stuff.
flush.
Yeah. Right.
I wanted to go out.
So the goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, should I focus more on content or thumbnails and titles? What would be the best avenue to grow? You got to do it all. So when it comes to YouTube, there isn't a just do this and you'll be fine. There's a bunch of stuff you got to learn how to do, and you have to learn how to do it at a level that's competitive for YouTube, and you have to do it over and over and over again at that level. That's what you have to do. So it's not an either or, it's a yes. Is the answer to that question. You got to learn how to do titles, thumbnails, come up with good video ideas. You got to learn how to present your content. You got to learn how to, put it all together in a way that that people enjoy. Yeah. Next, so yeah, I wish I could say just do thumbnails, just focus on thumbnails and you'll do awesome. Right. But at the end of the day, you got to do it all when it comes to YouTube.
So Ron Trains and Things says, so are the homeowners average or is the home average?
Yeah, it's a good question. Good question.
Well, so if you think of an average home, what do you think? Let me know in the chat if you think average home. Man. And this is going to change depending where you're at. I'm just curious to see if a lot of people, because I have this in my mind what an average home is. Yeah. And I'm just curious if people are on the same.
Yeah, I would say probably 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
you with your
No,
YouTube,
I'm just kidding. I'm
with
just
your
kidding.
YouTube money
No,
over
no, I'm
here.
just kidding. I'm just joking. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say probably.
Like a 6-car garage. You know.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, maid's quarter, gardener's quarter, sitting on about 20 acres.
Definitely not. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
Miniature ranch.
No,
Get
definitely
the
not.
kids' ponies out in the back.
Yeah, that's just bare bones. If if that's
Yeah.
what you want to call it, bare
Yeah.
bones. No, yeah, yeah. So Chantel was thinking like 14 bedrooms at least. Yeah, for average. Yeah, I'm really not sure. I think it would depend on like where it was at, because what's average in like Los Angeles is wildly different than what might average be in like Ohio, right? So or Montana. So yeah, because of that, yeah, I'm not sure.
Brian G. Johnson in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Brian G. Johnson
The one, the only,
Anything but average.
Brian G. Johnson.
And Brian G. Johnson. Brian G., just so you guys, in case you don't know Brian, he's the author of Tube Ritual Volume 1, where he helps you grow your YouTube channel from 0 to 5,000 subscribers and more. You can get this on Amazon.com. Just look for Tube Ritual. He also has a really cool Facebook group as well by the same name. So if you are a Facebook user and you're looking for a cool community to hang out in, he has one over there. So next up, we've got Irate Garage. So what do you think this channel's about? D?
The Irate Garage.
Yeah. What do you think happens here?
I hope. I sincerely hope, and I'm not looking at your channel yet. I sincerely hope you are a male, 40 plus years old, who goes out into the garage and just screams about everything that bothers you and everything that's wrong with the world. And your arguments are so good that nobody can argue against you. And everybody watches you and they go, that's exactly how I feel. I feel this man is my spirit animal.
Spirit animal.
That's what I hope this channel is about.
Love it.
Am I right?
I don't know. I haven't pulled it up.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
And maybe
so
you break some things every now and then.
yeah, we're going to get there. So yeah, we're going to
Just
pull it up right
raw
here.
passion.
Yeah, so we're going to pull it up here and we're going to see what we have going on here.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest, man. Like
I'm
it looks
probably-
like that might be what's going on.
I'm probably like dialed in
Yep.
on this channel.
Yeah, we're going to see here in just a second, but I'm going to scroll down here and we're going to see what the question is first. So they upload 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do automotive DIY. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I mostly work on cars and trucks, but I also have tractors and equipment that I work on as well and stuff around the farm. I've been toying with the idea of a second channel for the non-car and truck stuff, Irate Farm. Is this a good idea? I don't want to confuse the algorithm. Other channels in the niche have second channels for the other content. So yeah, if you're wanting to create another channel for the farm equipment, then in that case, you are creating an entire channel for people that are interested in farm equipment, because those people are, they have different qualifications to be interested in that content compared to people that are interested in, watching you fix vehicles. So absolutely, if you're going to make that content, if it was me, I would have the farm channel and I would have the car channel. So the only downside with that is, you got to keep publishing to both and, all that. So it intensifies the workload. However, taking that approach where you're separating things like that is definitely smart.
So I was dead on the money with what the channel's about.
No, so here, I'll show you real quick.
I was
Just so everybody
dead
can
on the
see.
money.
Yeah, so with this, basically it is him fixing vehicles.
So I was.
So he's not breaking
I was
stuff.
right. I was correct.
I guess we've looked at this one before.
Yeah, I was spot on.
Yeah, because I see that I've watched that one. So yeah, we've looked at that one.
Yep, I was right. That's what I thought. And the average homeowner said, "Thanks for your thoughts. Still not changing the channel name." No.
Oh yeah, we're just having fun
No,
with it. Yeah, I
I
think the
think-
channel name's great.
Yeah, your channel name's great.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Yeah, I think the channel name's great. Yeah, that's why we were having fun with it, right? Like
Yeah.
we were not trashing the channel name in any way. We actually, I think it's a fun channel name.
Yeah,
Actually.
I like it. It's memorable.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You have if you have a memorable name, even if it's something like that you can kind of have fun with, it's still memorable. And now everyone in this chat will remember that name.
Yep.
Because it's average. I mean, technically, we should forget it.
I know, technically. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You blend in.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
notices you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're a little bit above average. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
You're a little bit above.
Yeah. But yeah, that name. Yeah. It's definitely something to have fun with. And the Irate Garage says that things do get broke.
That's what I'm
So,
talking
yeah,
about.
Yep. There we go.
There you go.
Yep. All right. So next up on our list here, we have Stitch has got a Stitch. They upload 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do crocheting and knitting, community, and commentary.
I thought for sure they were like a hitman that was going after people who give up information to the feds.
The goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. And the question is, my most recent series of cleaning up my craft room / spring cleaning has a very high CTR and retention. CTR is 7%, plus my average view duration is 12 to 20 minutes, but the views are still low for these stats, and the videos are not getting pushed out much beyond subscribers. Is there a packaging issue, or do I need to be patient and let the algorithm decide when to let it pop? I still have more videos to put into this series, so I'm trying to figure out what to do next. Okay, so a really important thing to remember when it comes to YouTube is that when you are publishing content, when we're all publishing content, not when you are, when we all are, we're competing with everything that the people that we're trying to reach, that they are likely to be enjoy, or that they're likely to enjoy. So the issue with that is that sometimes, the stats can, look, okay, but I see you have relatively, I mean, you're still doing better than a lot of creators do, but like, for example, because you have some videos in here with like 1.6 thousand views, 800 views, 1.2 thousand views, so you have content that gets views. But some of these other ones where you're like 224 views, 343, like in these cases, because there hasn't been a lot of people interacting with the content yet, it's really easy to keep those numbers high, right? Because you just haven't had enough people interacting with the content yet to drive everything down yet. So there's that. In addition to that, there are some things that I would definitely make sure that you modify with this. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull this up real quick, and I'll show you what I mean. All right. So even though your click-through rate is better, or is 7%, I think that you could get it better. And also keep in mind, when it comes to your click-through rate, you don't want to just look at the averaged out click-through rate that you see on the channel. Instead, you want to go into your traffic sources report in your advanced mode analytics and look to see what your click-through rate is on the different pages of YouTube. Click-through rate, average view duration on the different pages of YouTube, and that can just give you insights into why content is or is not performing on the different pages of YouTube. But when we are looking at this, just one thing I want to bring to your attention real quick is from a structural standpoint, your episode numbers here that you're putting at the beginning, those, if you're even going to put them in here in the first place, which I don't think that you need to for this type of content, but if you are going to, you should put these at the end. So best practice when it comes to YouTube is making sure that you are prioritizing the front of the title around, informing people what's going on or compelling them to click. And then any additional information, be it episode numbers, channel names, anything like that, you need to make sure that you are putting, you're putting these here at the end. Now, keep in mind, some channels, they will put it up here, towards the front, but I'm just giving you a heads up when it comes to best practices on this, okay? So the whole idea is that they read the part that matters to them first, and then they see any additional information. But really, I wouldn't even put these in here because the reason that I wouldn't is because if you have these episode numbers in here, if you have a lot of returning viewers, right, and you have people that are just like waiting for that next episode, then it makes a little bit more sense. But based on this particular video and how people have responded to it so far, that's not there yet. So because of that, when you have that episode 4 in there, it suggests that you have additional videos that people might need to watch in order to catch up, right? So because of that, right now, I wouldn't worry about putting the episode numbers. I wouldn't worry about putting those in there. Yarn room cleanup begins, brings up so much. Okay. So this is another one, right? So you're doing the cleanup for your yarn room. This is one where, bringing attention to the room itself, because you have all of the focus here on you, right? So when it comes to this and having the focus on you, the issue with this is that in the thumbnail, in order for this to really, matter to people, then, they have to already know who you are for you to stand out to them and grab their attention. Now, one thing that you do have to your advantage here with this thumbnail is the emotion that's attached to it, right? It looks like you're like bummed out, in this, and that might, get people in there. However, if you're trying to reach people that are interested in, you know, yarn and all of that, then in that case, I would make I'd make your content about that. And two, I would make sure that you do have something in your thumbnail that helps make that connection with them as well. So, you know, for example, the yard room cleanup brings up so much, you know, having, you know, something to where it's clear that this might have something to do with, you know, like yarn or some type of, you know, that type of crafting or, you know, that. So the whole idea, though, is just to help with the imagery. I think here, you have it here. It's more subtle here in the background, but you do have that type of thing going on here in the background to where it might help them be able to identify that, like, you know, you're having these personal stories it seems like you might be sharing, but here it's a little bit more clear of you know, who it is that you're trying to connect with this content, right, compared to this.
Yeah, I agree.
I just want to see something here really quick.
At a glance on the episode 3 one, I'm not 100% sure like what's going on there in terms of what's behind her.
Yeah.
I have to pause and kind of read the title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and other things too, just to bring it to your attention, is like if you look here, right? So this one has 10,000 views on it, and here you have, you know, a clear, you know, crafty, you know, type of, you know, sock. It says here crochet sock. So it's just obvious right here. This one, it's not obvious, but it is in there to where, you know, like in suggested videos, this might not have done, you know, that great unless they clicked in for the emotional side of I Have No Friends. But in terms of connecting with the crochet crowd, you at least have this in there. So at least on mobile feeds, stuff like that, people can see it, you know, at those larger size thumbnails. Here, not so much, but you do have the word yarn in here, which can help them connect there. And then here you also have these yarn things in there. But even with this, I think, you know, putting more emphasis on those types of things can be advantageous for you. And then this one also. And the reason I'm doing this on your most popular videos is I was just wanting to see if you were doing those types of things previously, because I noticed you had almost 3,000 subscribers. But yeah, leveraging that imagery that, you know, will help people connect with it based on what it is that they care about is a great way to you know, to just capture somebody's attention. Because remember, the goal when it comes to YouTube is you're trying to capture people's attention and just stop them. That's it. Stop them. So they're sitting there scrolling. Stop. They're sitting there flipping around their TV looking for something to watch. They see yours. Oh, what is this? Right? They're on their computer looking for stuff. Oh, what is this? Right? Because it helps them just instantly identify at a glance that it's about something that they might care about. Right? That's the idea. I blurred that thinking the emotion might sell it more, but I can completely adjust that. Yeah, I think the emotion's good. Yeah, I definitely think, you know, I know that emotion and thumbnails, you know, can definitely make a difference. The thing though is that you got to make sure that you're doing it in a way that will attract the right people. Because when you make, you know, if you're trying to create a community of people that are into yarn and that type of crafting, then in that case, you don't want people coming in just on the emotional side, unless you're going to be taking the channel in that direction or building, you know, a content pillar or a content bucket that's going to be that kind of stuff. But if you do that, then, you know, you're going to be kind of splitting up the audience. So because of that, I would just be mindful about, okay, if I'm going to be doing this, you know, type of emotional content, is this a great fit for, you know, people that might be coming to me for, you know, the yarn related stuff? Because with that, you know, if they're coming in for the emotion, then they may or may not even care about yarn at all and about crafting and doing all this stuff that you do in your other videos.
A lot of crafting.
Mm-hmm. And as a quick reminder, if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the form that is down in the description, because that's where we're pulling these from.
Chantel says, I just cleaned up my yarn room. I think it's interesting that people have yarn rooms. That's awesome.
It is. I mean, I guess it's no different than like me having a music room.
Yeah, but
right?
It's yarn.
Well, I know from our perspective, because we're not into yarn, but like they probably think the same about like, why would you have a music room? Why wouldn't you turn that into a yarn room instead? Right.
Right. Well, I mean, but it's a music room. It's not like my guitar room. Right. It's just full of guitars. But like my yarn room, it's just yarn. Yeah, yeah.
But if you're into yarn stuff,
yeah,
that makes total sense to me.
I just think that's interesting.
Yep.
Like I just don't have that perspective of, you know, people have yarn rooms. Yep. It's interesting.
Yep. Melanie has a video room. Yep.
Yeah. See, that makes sense.
Yep. Ron's got a train room.
Yep.
Yep.
That makes sense.
It does.
Right?
Shark Scrapper says his wife has a baking room.
Oh, my man. Oh.
Oh, that's great. I think that's called a kitchen, isn't it?
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Oh, goodness.
Just kidding.
Goodness.
Yeah, but a train room makes sense.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so this is
How to gain more views
okay.
on
So
edits.
this is what I was getting at. Thank you, Jive Dancing.
What'd they say?
Jive Dancing says D. It's not only yarn.
There we go.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's crafty stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the disconnect, right? Because you don't say my craft room.
Yeah.
Right. My DIY room, my crafting room,
Right.
my sewing room.
Yeah.
Right. My yarn room. Like yarn room to me, very specific. I'm just envisioning like boxes of yarn, and it's just like I'm hoarding yarn. That's where my brain goes. Glad to find out that it's.
Now you know. Learn
Now I
something
know.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn something.
I was a little bit worried about Chantel when she said she had a yarn room, but now I feel a lot better now about the Chantel.
All right. So next up on our list here, we have Bob Gaming. Bob Gaming. They upload 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. The goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, how do I pace the video correctly to keep the audience engaged?
Pace.
Yep. D, go.
Well, I'm sorry. What was the full question?
How do I pace the video correctly to keep the audience engaged?
How do you pace the video correctly to keep the audience engaged?
Yep.
The first thing I would want to check is who your audience is. If you have a younger audience, they're more likely going to respond better to faster pace video, faster editing, more cuts, things move along a lot faster. And you can see that with a lot of the channels like Mr. Beast and Ryan Trahan and those types of channels. Everything is really fast. If you have an older audience, we generally don't like that type of editing. We like things to be a little bit slower. If you are educational and you're teaching people how to do things, you might want to slow things down a little bit to make sure that people can follow along. So you need to figure out who your audience is first and foremost and pace accordingly based on who your demographic is. And the next thing that I would recommend is once you figure out who that is, you're going to have to do some testing to figure out what they're going to respond to. And then just trial and error. Trial and error. Like you're going to find out. You're going to find that sometimes you speak too quickly. Like he speaks 1,000,000 miles an hour. Really fast when he speaks. A lot of times when he makes videos.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
times,
you
yeah.
slowed it
I
down
have people,
quite a bit.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
People in the comments are like, "Hey, dude, can't understand you."
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
speaking too fast.
He's slowed down quite a bit,
Yeah.
but some people speak really quickly. So you really have to think.
Slowed down as my demographics have gotten older too.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So it just comes down to trial and error. Figure out who your demographics are, and then start testing different pacing methods and editing methods based on that.
Yep.
And then just watch your data.
Yep.
Watch your data. Okay, I for this video I did this. For this video I did this. For this video I did this, and see if you can find patterns. And over time, you will figure out patterns, and you'll see what people are going to respond to the best.
Yep. Yeah. Another thing too is, if you're looking for a clear lead on what to do, is any channel that you're inspired by that makes content that's similar to yours. Yeah. Is, let's see here, what games are you doing here? The Perfect Mine.
It's a gaming channel?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
The Perfect Mine Shaft in Mine Mogul. Okay. So here, let me pull this up real quick.
I didn't even catch that they were a gaming channel.
Yep. So I'm just going to add tab. You know what? Here, we'll do this. And then what's it called? Mine Mogul. So go to YouTube. And we're going to do Mine Mogul. Okay, so we are going to Mine Mogul here. And I don't know if this is, a channel that you would say would be similar to yours and what it is that you're doing, but I just want to show you this real quick. So inside of Google Chrome, they have this really cool feature that they rolled out recently called Split View. And what you can do is click here. I made a Chrome extension for this a while back, but now that they have it, like this is way easier. So basically, with this, what you would do is you would come here and you would have your video, right? And you would say, okay, so what are they doing? How are they starting this? Okay, building up some anticipation. And of course, on your end, you'd be listening to this too, right? Because they might be talking, saying something here. And this is assuming that they're similar, videos. But what you would do is you would say like, okay, what are they doing? And then let's see this. What am I doing? Okay, so it comes in, you're like in motion, all that stuff. And then you would just rinse and repeat that process. Go over there and you're like, okay, so what's these next few seconds like? What are my next few seconds like? And you just rinse and repeat this across a bunch of different content that performs well in your niche. What you want to look for when you're doing this is you want to look for content that has worked well recently. And the reason you want to look for content that's worked well recently within the last 30 days is because when you are doing this type of analysis, you want to make sure that most of the views are coming from recommendations. So it's possible that they are talking about something or they're sharing something that was trending and people are still searching for it a lot. But when you're doing this type of thing, you want to look for videos in your niche that have performed well recently, so that you can, so it's more likely that it's happening within YouTube's recommendation system. And then you want to go and compare and see what it is that they're doing, as long as when you explore the channel, you're like, okay, yeah, these are definitely who the people that they're reaching, they're definitely the people that I'm trying to reach to. When you get that, then that's where you want to do those types of comparisons, just to see how things are different. Right. Same thing when it goes to your thumbnails, titles, all of it. You do this comparison. Everybody here should do this on channels in your niche that are doing well compared to you, and just do these types of comparisons to be like, what are they doing? And just how is mine different? It doesn't mean that you have to copy what it is that they're doing. It just gives you insights into like, oh, okay, I see that when they start their videos, they do these types of things, and I'm not doing anything remotely close to that, and they're getting a much better response. So let me experiment with doing things that are similar to that and just see if people respond to it better, right? That's the play when you're doing those types of comparisons.
Yeah, Bob, and like you said, you don't have to copy, but it's just good to put your finger on what's working. Yeah. Right? Once you have a better understanding of what's working, then you can try to figure out, okay, well, what am I going to do? And there's something to be said about, being yourself. But sometimes being yourself, sometimes you need to speed it up a little bit. Sometimes you need to slow it down a little bit. Still be yourself, but you have to pace accordingly based on who's watching your videos. And I'm going to guess possibly younger people are watching your videos. Not sure. I'm not a gamer, so I'm not sure how that works. But yeah, just figure out what's successful.
Yeah, and also when you're doing those types of comparisons that I was showing, so I just grabbed, this channel because it was one of the first ones that came up in search. But another thing that you want to think about is you don't want to look at you want to look at the biggest channels in your niche too and see what they're doing. Yeah. But you also want to look at smaller channels that are, a little bit ahead of you. And the reason that you want to do both of those is you want to look at the big channels because they're the ones leading the niche, right? And then you want to look at channels that are a little bit bigger than you that are doing well, so that you can, see how they're doing everything, because when they publish videos, they're getting, that response. So you want to see like, okay, what is that they're doing there? And you want to really analyze every aspect of it.
Yeah, a lot of people make the mistake of only focusing on the largest channels. Well, these are the largest channels on my niche. What are they doing? Yeah. Well, those large channels also they've dialed things in. They understand what they're doing. They have a large fan base. They're in a different position. So it is good to look at them, but it's also good to look at people, like Nick said, a little bit better than you. So let's say you have 1,000 subscribers on your channel, you get a couple of hundred views per video. Well, maybe you want to look to see what a channel with 10,000 subscribers doing, who's getting a couple of thousand views per video, 5,000 views per video, something like that. And then just,
step up
from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, and really quick, so Jay Tillman says it's difficult to find a channel like mine within my niche. So yeah, with what you're doing, there's like a million channels like this.
What's he doing?
Lo-fi chill music instrumentals.
Oh, my man, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's R&B and lo-fi chill instrumentals. So yeah, there's tons of these. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
tons of these. Yeah, and with AI, there's even more now.
Music is tough though, Jay.
Yeah, it is. It's challenging. So one thing that I would recommend to you, Jay, just because I pulled it up because I wanted to see what you were making, is right now you're doing R&B and lo-fi chill. I would pick one for like one channel. I would just make that channel about that type of music. And the reason for that is because then you can turn that channel into a resource for people that love that type of music, versus me listening to one of your lo-fi videos and being like, oh, this is great, I'm going to subscribe to this channel. And then YouTube shows me your R&B video, and then I don't click on it because I'm not listening to R&B. Right, so because of that, I would do the lo-fi version of the channel and then do an R&B version. So then that way, each one is a resource.
Is he separating them like R&B and lo-fi?
They're on the same channel.
But it's like R&B music and lo-fi.
Yes.
Or is he doing like a boom bap lo-fi type?
Yeah, it's R&B and lo-fi.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, music's tough to begin with, man.
I think it is. Hold on. R&B, new original R&B.
I'm not looking at it.
New original R&B, new original R&B, new original R&B, new original R&B. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is a mix of lo-fi in there. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe it's an RB. Lo-fi is the actual vibe itself,
Like
maybe?
lo-fi with an R&B.
With an R&B vibe. Yeah,
that could be
maybe.
it.
Yeah, maybe. All right. So next up on our
Let
list
us know
here-
what it is, Shay.
Yeah. So next up, we've got Silver Fox Forest Designs. They upload when they have time, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do art and drawing content. The goal of the channel is to make money. And they say they've only been taking YouTube seriously for the last 2 years. And the question is, sending best wishes to you both. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Says, I've been working on the advice that you kindly gave me a few months ago, and I've been working on my thumbnails. You mentioned about showing of the art more, so I've taken this approach. I've definitely seen a rise in viewers, subs, and watch time. 139 hours is my highest ever. Nice work. Says, I've still got a lot of thumbnails to change, but please, if you don't mind, would you take a look at my thumbnails and feedback on if you think these are more clear and engaging? Kindest humble regards and respects to you both. So in terms of the comparison of them being more engaging, I'm not sure, because I remember, because you're here a lot. But in terms of the thumbnails and what they looked like previously, I'm not 100% sure there of what they were in order to be able to compare them directly. But we'll take a look at what you're doing though and give feedback on that. Let's see here. So art inspiration ideas. Keep it simple on the drawing. Okay, so you're clearly doing hand-drawn stuff, which is cool. So the first thing is I think that you are expressing that these, that you are drawing these. I think you're expressing that well. I think things like this are also clever, where you have like the listing of pencils, in there also. But there is a few things that I would do. One is I would lighten these up a little bit. These are okay up here, but I would lighten these up a little bit just so they're a little bit brighter. What's the app? Snapseed. So you can do this on your computer, or there's apps, like there's a free app called Snapseed, for example,
Snapseed, yeah.
where you can, just adjust the saturation a little bit, adjust the brightness a little bit, adjust the contrast a little bit if you need to. And then that gives you the opportunity to make these pop just a little bit more, so that they, so they're more likely to just grab attention, when they're showing them to people on the homepage. And in addition to that, because here, like in this one, right, like you have the pencil in here, but it's almost out of view. Like it's pretty clear that that's a pencil drawing. But when you are taking these types of shots, I would try to get the pencil in there just a little bit more, just so it's clear that like you're following, this along, or this person's doing it. Kind of like on this one right here, right? Like you're doing here with this dinosaur. Also, when it comes to the text that you're putting on here, just try to keep it simple, right? So here you have like drawing, and then Spinosaurus mirabilis, and then the unicorn crocodile. Just having, drawing the Spinosaurus mirabilis, I think would be enough. And then, when it all goes wrong, drawing a French bulldog portrait step by step. I'm not sure what happens in this video, but based on what your title means, the when it all goes wrong makes this confusing for me, just as somebody that doesn't know what's happening in this video. So if this is about drawing, then I would definitely make it clear that this is about drawing. And I'm not sure, I can't remember if you're teaching people how to draw, or if you're just drawing and, people are following along. But if you are teaching people how to draw, then I would definitely make it clear here, like how to draw a French bulldog step by step, instead of just drawing a French bulldog step by step. Because what that does is that creates an expectation for the viewers from the outside in terms of what it is that they might get on the inside, right? Because if it's like just drawing it, then that tells them that they're just watching, right? And that means that, they might pick up, some information from watching you do it. But if it's a how-to, then in that case, that suggests that they're actually going to learn something when they're watching it. And people that are trying to learn how to draw, they might see more value in that. Next up.
Slay went walking, said, so this isn't the guy D said was awful. The dog bit the guy. What?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it might be from another stream.
Yeah, I don't remember a dog biting anybody.
Don't either. Yeah. Retroscope TV. They upload 1 time per week or more. Been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do 90s and 2000s commentary. Goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, I have 2 channels that are semi-related. One where I talk about TV from the 90s and 2000s. One where I cover pop culture trends from the same area. Think Game Theory, Food Theory, Watch Mojo, Miss Mojo. Should I use one Patreon for both, or create one Patreon each? Pros and cons to either. Pros are that you keep everything contained in one area. Cons are you're giving different stuff to different people that are signing up for different reasons. So if you have 2 and you keep everything focused per audience, per channel, makes it really easy in all of your messaging and what it is that you're offering and all of that stuff to have them separately that way. So because one thing I do want to mention though is if everything is from the same era, you might be able to funnel all that into one, but it would really depend on, here, let me see if you posted your channel links up here for the other channel. Yeah, I just see the one link up here. I'm going to see if I can find it on your channel real quick. Because this is going to come down to not just what you're covering, but also what it is that you're doing in there. Do you have a link to another channel? No, you don't. Okay, so yeah, so I'm not sure what the other things are that you're doing. But if they are, if the offering is the same, see, but it's like pop culture stuff. Yeah, I would do separate on it. The downside of that is that it does give you more to manage. However, it does keep everything contained. So then, people are coming in from this channel versus people coming in from this channel. That can also give you some information. So for example, like if you notice, like, okay, on this channel, people are signing up like crazy, where on this channel, like I haven't had a sign up in months, then that might also, help you identify things based on your goals and what you're trying to do, to where you might want to lean more into one, or you might want to work more on the other one so that you can, try to get a similar result as the one that's doing better. So, that type of thing can also be an advantage of doing too. Next up, we've got Zoomy type flash. What do you think this one's about, D?
Zoomer type flash?
Zoomy. Zoomy type flash.
Type flash?
Yep.
Man, I hope it's like a channel about topography.
Topography or photography?
The fonts, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Typography?
Okay, typography.
Isn't that what it's called?
Yep. Typography. Yeah. Yep.
Typography.
Okay, Zoomy type flash. Okay, let's see what we got here.
I hope it's like a...
It's a gaming channel.
Type.
You got it wrong.
Well, I was close.
I got a sound for that actually, but I'm just not.
I was really
I think
close.
it's too late for me to. I think it's too late for me to play it.
That was my second guess. I was like, they're not talking about fonts. They're talking about gaming. That was going to be my second.
Yeah. Well, gaming is it. You're a winner. You got it.
Yes.
So they have a gaming channel. Goal of the channel is to make money, and the question is, I need some advice for a gaming channel. Say I've been on YouTube for 3 years. I need help with my gaming channel. Okay, so they're looking for some tips here. So let's go ahead and pull their channel up, see what it is that they have.
So somebody just said here, YouTube is blocking my message about Tuber School. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a crazy thing.
We're seeing it right here. You're seeing it, right?
Yeah, I see your message here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, not topography. Typography.
Typography.
Yeah, typography.
So let's see here. So next up, or no, not next up. We're looking at this gaming channel. Okay, so for this gaming channel, we have. Okay, so they've been on YouTube for 3 years. They've got 150 videos. They're sitting at 145 subscribers, and it looks like 20,000 views on the channel. So let's see what you got going on.
Oh, Zoomy type flash. Like a type song, maybe.
Okay, so I see you're on really long videos here for some of these. Then you've got like a short one. Yeah, a lot of these are long videos. So I'm not sure. Let's see if it says it here. Welcome to my channel. This is my name. I'll be playing a number of different games. You may see vlogs, games, unboxing, and more. Okay, it looks like a bunch of different stuff that you might be offering here. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're doing like, Let's Plays or what it is that you're doing, but a few things that I would definitely do is I would make unique thumbnails for each one of these. Oh yeah, you're just doing playthroughs. So the problem when it comes to just Let's Plays is there isn't really anything attached to them. So, for example, like with this just being a playthrough, if this is a brand new game and I wanted to see the game, because it was brand new, then in that case, this makes sense. But if this is a game that's been around for a while, just a regular playthrough, unless you're either really good or really entertaining, then, it's just hard to, want to click on some of these. And also here, because it's just a playthrough, there isn't anything like really attached to that in terms of, like, why would I, want to click on this, and watch it as a playthrough just based on how it's packaged, right? So a way that you can change that is by just trying to make the playthrough about something. Like, for example, you're trying to beat a particular character, you're trying to get to a certain level, those types of things. You're trying to accomplish it with a certain weapon, you're trying to accomplish it with no weapons, you're trying to, do it with a specific character, like whatever the thing is. Just trying to make the videos about something so that people, when they see it, the goal is you're trying to make them think like, oh, I wonder, I wonder how they did, or I wonder, what they did to do that, or how far they got, or whatever the thing is. So you create some type of value with it, because here with it just being a playthrough, there isn't too much there. And another thing also is here you say, because you have Zoomy type flash as the channel, and you say playthrough with Zoomy. So when it comes to playthrough with Zoomy, in order for people to mind or to care about this video, then they have to either care about the game or they have to care about Zoomy. But as of right now, if people don't know who Zoomy is yet, then having the playthrough with Zoomy isn't something that's going to be compelling for this, right? So those are the type of things that you got to think about. You got to think about, okay, when this shows up on somebody's homepage, what is it that I'm offering to them, and how can I offer it to them in a way? And this starts at the video idea, by the way. How can I offer it in a way to where it's going to be interesting to people, where they'll want to watch it because it's interesting, not just because I'm playing it, right? Unless you're really, really good at the game or super entertaining. Christina Smallhorn in the house. What is up, Christina?
Hey,
nice to see you here. Hope that you're doing great. Says that we have Easter in 30 days. Yeah, we're getting there.
Wow.
Definitely getting there. Nice to see you in here.
Chocolate bunnies.
Yep, chocolate bunnies, Cadbury eggs, all that good stuff. Next up on our list here.
And I miss the days that you could just get like a huge Easter basket full of candy.
And just pig out and there's no consequence.
No consequence whatsoever.
Yep, good old
You get
days.
to eat all the little foil wrapped chocolate, little eggs. You get the Cadbury. You get the little marshmallow peeps, jelly beans. Just full on diabetes.
Just glory.
Diabetes in a basket.
Yep.
But as a kid, like it doesn't even
Glorious.
matter. You're
Yep,
just like,
it's the best ever.
I'm just gonna eat all of this and then go out and get on my BMX bike and just go terrorize
the neighborhood. Yep.
Until like 10 p.m. and then I'm just gonna come home.
Yep.
I miss those days.
Yep. Good old days.
Yep.
So really quick, by the way, if you are just joining us, because we have a few more questions here, but we are going to run out soon. So if you have any questions about anything you're doing on YouTube, there's a link at the top of the chat right now where you can put your questions in there if you have a question on about anything that you're doing. If you are watching this from somewhere that is not YouTube, then in that case, you can go to nickniman.com/ask. And I'll just go ahead and put that on the screen here for you. Go to nickniman.com/ask, and that will redirect you to that same exact form that we are taking these questions from.
Roberto says your candy is called Ozempic.
Oh, nice. Nice. Roberto Blake in the house, the Sith Lord of YouTube. What is up, Roberto? Nice to see you in here. I was shouting out your... I'll let that go here for a second. So I was shouting out your Creator Dictionary earlier, by the way. Looked like people thought that was a cool idea. But Roberto is also, just in case you guys don't know, he's the author of Create Something Awesome, the book that will help you start profiting from your passion here on YouTube. So you can get this on Amazon if you just look for Create Something Awesome, or if you hop onto Amazon and look for Roberto Blake. I've also got links to the description as well for the books that I have here on the desk. So let's see here. Next up, we have... Hey, if you have a question about something, Christina, just hit me up. So next up on our list here, we have...
That's right. RB into hizzy. That's what I'm talking about.
Back to the Flicks is the name of the channel. They've been on... they publish one time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 1 year. The type of channel is retro movie reviews and retro horror movie interactive live. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what I like. And the question is, I'm looking to reach a larger view base for my VODs as well as my live shows. What's the best ways to break through to untapped potential viewers? Let's scroll up and take a look at what it is that you're doing first.
I think this is Jay's other channel.
Oh, nice.
He said that's me.
So back to the Flicks. Okay, let's see what it is that you're doing here. Is that a New Jack City video? Nice.
Retro movie reviews.
Yeah, super cool. Okay, so let's go back here, go here.
Sue, who doesn't love Peeps?
Yeah, right. That's the truth.
Everyone loves Peeps.
Yep. Yeah, getting like a whole tray of Peeps.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you get the package of Peeps, and it's just like
Right.
this flat tray
Of yellow
of
Peeps.
Yeah, and you
Or-
just
yeah.
want to kind of turn it up like this and just funnel them in. Yeah. It's great. Yep.
Man.
Yep. So in terms of your question was looking to reach a larger view base for my VODs as well as live shows. What's the best way to break through to untapped potential viewers? One is to try to figure out which movies are the most popular for this era and make sure that you're focusing on those first. That's number one. Number two is, I think, by having like New Jack City on here, The Game, White Men Can't Jump, all of that stuff, I think that you have, the name on there and you're using imagery that will help people, see it and help it stand out. Using the actual, you have Ice-T back here, so you do have that. But basically the making sure that the imagery itself, because it looks like you might be focusing on you in a lot of these, so make sure that you're focusing on the imagery of the movies themselves, right? So what you want to think about is when it comes to your thumbnails, the thing that you're trying to do here is you're trying to make it to where if somebody sees this on a homepage or suggested videos, to where the thing that is going to stand out to them in terms of a character, that it's going to grab their attention instantly.
Yeah.
So here, like the New Jack City, I think that's great. But I think the Am I My Brother's Keeper on here, which is, like a quote from there, I think that this isn't necessary to have in your thumbnail, because when it comes to your thumbnails, focus is the key. So right now you've got a logo up here, Back to the Flicks, New Jack City, you got review on here, you have 3 characters, and you have the Am I My Brother's Keeper. Instead of all of that, focus on the characters and on the New Jack City. Because remember, you're not trying to tell the whole story here, you're just trying to grab people's attention so that they'll look at this down here, right? What were you going to say, D?
I was just going to say, because I love New Jack City, but if this showed up in my feed, I don't know if I would catch that Ice-T and Wesley Snipes are in there unless I kind of slow down to pay attention.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you have New Jack City, and because you're in the center there, so my attention goes on you, and I completely overlook Ice-T and Wesley Snipes. I think you're doing yourself a disservice by not focusing on the characters of the movie, because we identify with things like this, like especially if you're doing retro stuff. Like I love everything retro. You know what gets me every single time? Anytime YouTube's like, hey, you want to see something about Escape from New York, and they'll have and it's always a picture of Snake Plissken, right, with his eye patch and everything on there. And I always click on it because I immediately identify Snake Plissken with Escape from New York or Escape from LA. And if you're putting yourself as a center focus, we don't get to make that connection instantly.
Okay, so let's
see
see.
what's happening.
Yeah, I'm just kind of seeing what people are doing here. Okay, so they've got me in like an India
Oh yeah,
thing here. So let's do
you're
this instead of
trapped,
retro.
man.
Let's do like
you're trapped.
2000s movie reviews.
2000s.
Okay, and then we'll go to Film Stack, and then we'll go here. Okay, so just one example.
Immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, one example, right, is if you look here, you can see how the characters, right? The characters are the core focus
Right.
on this channel, right? They're not filling it up with a bunch of additional stuff. It's like, hey, this is the character, and that's all you need.
Right.
Right, because it's grabbing their attention, and then they come down here, bam, and then they look at the title, right? So they're leveraging that in order to grab attention.
For retro stuff, we know the thing.
Right.
Right, if you're doing retro
iconic.
movies, it's iconic. Retro anything, movies, toys, electronics, music, bands. We immediately dial in with those visuals.
Yep. Let's see if this is all movie stuff too. Yes, she has a big channel already, almost 1 million subscribers on this. So she, having herself in here makes a little bit more sense. Even still, though, she puts the emphasis on them, right? She puts the emphasis on the characters, but in my opinion,
I would change those thumbs if she'd probably do a lot better.
So with these, because she is kind of obscuring this, but she probably has a lot of returning viewers and stuff based on her view counts. But you can see in most cases here, the thing that is focused on is the characters themselves, right?
At-
So right now, because again, she's at like 1 million subscribers and 144 million views, so tons of people know who she is. But like in your case right now, because you're just getting started, right? You don't have that type of opportunity yet. So because of that, I would just focus all of your efforts on characters, right? You can, if you want to, also put like the logos in there, but just focusing on the characters is definitely something that you should prioritize here. Same thing here, right? You have total recall.
Yeah.
Right, but you don't have the total recall imagery that's prominent, right? So you can see it back here if you spend the time to look for it. But on YouTube, everything's just like, people are glancing around. Like if we go to YouTube's homepage and I go like this, right? I'm like, oh, hey, Daryl's going live. Okay, this says stats, YouTube stats. That grabs my attention. I saw this one said Cardi B on there. Let's see here. We've got this also. Another YouTube thing that stands out to me here because I'm a YouTuber. Got some music stuff over here. YOLO Cam, Thailand from Gregor Brown. So like, just glancing around real quick, right? So what we're doing is we're trying to go around here and just look for things that are standing out to grab our attention, right? Because then from there, they read your title. And then once they read your title, then that's going to make the call on if they're going to, decide to go in there or not. So yeah, so right now, focus all of your efforts on that.
Yeah, man, get that retro imagery.
Yep, get the imagery. Yep.
Yeah.
And Monique Bush, thank you for the super chat.
Super chat.
Says watching you for about 6 years now, just to thank you. Wow. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Monique. So next up on the list here, we've got MW Silverback is the name of the channel. They do daily content, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do gaming content. The goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is there something in the thumbnail or for content that I could do to help bring more viewers to the stream? So without looking at the channel, and I'm going to look at your channel too, but without looking at the channel, focusing on imagery like we were just talking about, focusing on imagery that helps the people that are into your type of content identify that it's that type of content. That's the thing that you do. So let's take a look and see what it is that you're doing here. Let's see here.
What is it? What are they doing?
So I guess this is all about, I guess Arc Raiders has like a gorilla in it. I guess is that what I'm getting here? Yeah. So yeah, I was just doing like a safety check first there. So yeah, so here I don't know if the silverback thing, if you're replacing the actual characters in here with this, I don't know if that's what you're doing. Or if this is a character in Arc Raiders. And this is what's making me, think about that because your channel name. But yeah, so in your videos and your live streams, just making sure that you are focusing on the game imagery because that's going to be the thing that's going to, help people see that it's about that thing. So yeah, definitely make sure that you are doing that. And if this character is not an Arc Raiders character and you're making these, in something and you're putting that in there for the sake of branding, instead focus it on the game imagery and not on that. But if this is a main character in the game, then this is all perfectly fine in terms of the character. But yeah, and also try to make sure that you are just simplifying these, right? Because the thing isn't to try to just cram a bunch of stuff into the thumbnail. It is to leverage the thumbnail to capture somebody's attention around the things that they care about. And as a part of this, like you have like tacos and blueprints, Rusty Belt Run, plus your logos in here, plus you have the character back here in the background, and then some other stuff. So just making sure that there is a nice clear focus is the next thing you want to do. Oh, okay, yeah. Then you want to change that to where you're focusing on the game character. And same thing here, like, and trust me, like I'm a big fan of branding stuff. However, right now, definitely make sure that you, before you commit to this type of branding and all that, make sure first that you are focusing on, okay, what can I leverage in my thumbnail about Christine, that's great. So what am I leveraging in my thumbnail about, that's going to help the people I'm trying to reach identify this is about something that they care about. That's what you want to make sure that you're thinking about when it comes to your thumbnail. So the whole idea is look at your thumbnail and imagine that you don't have a title. And think to yourself, okay, this is the only opportunity that I have to capture somebody's attention at a glance and let them know this is about something that they care about. So because of that, what imagery can I put in this thumbnail that's going to help them identify that? And two, is there anything that I'm doing in this thumbnail that's going to take their attention away from that thing that I'm leveraging to try to help them identify that this content about something that they care about? If so, how can I minimize that or remove it and put more emphasis on the thing that's going to help them identify it's about the games that they care about?
They said, I'm trying to use the images from what we do in the game for the thumbnail.
So are you, I'm not sure because I'm not familiar with the game. So I don't know if this silverback here is a...
If other people recognize a silverback at scale, then it makes sense. Like if that's a known character. Right. Then it makes sense because you're using that character for people to go, oh, I know this game, I know this character at a glance. But if it's just like a one-off thing that other people don't understand, other than you and your crew, then people who don't know you yet, they don't understand what that is.
It's not going to matter to them. Right. Yeah, like one thing that you want to think about is what you're trying to do here is because people don't know your silverback avatar yet or your silverback persona yet, what you're trying to do is you're trying to leverage something that's popular to bring attention to yourself. So because of that, you focus the outside, your thumbnail and all that. You focus all of that on the thing that's going to be recognizable to the viewers. And then, maybe the game logo, that kind of stuff. And then once they come into the video, that's where they get to know you, right? So because of that, you want to make sure that the imagery from the outside helps them identify, the content itself. Next, we've got crispy applesauce. What do you think this one's about, D? That one's wide open. What do you think this one's about?
I don't know, but
do you think it's a food channel?
I don't know. I hope so. But that could be anything. It could be a gaming channel. It could be a food channel. It could be a vlogger. It's an interesting name. Crispy applesauce.
Yeah, it is.
Applesauce. Crispy applesauce.
Crispy applesauce. Yeah, wouldn't that be an apple?
Yeah, let's call it an apple. Or frozen applesauce.
Oh, yeah. It could be frozen applesauce. Or old, like, crusty applesauce.
Yeah.
Crusty like kind of caked in the jar applesauce.
Yeah.
So they upload one time per week or more, been on YouTube for less than 6 months. The type of channel is video, docs, and card gaming niche.
Gaming, there you go.
The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what I like. And the question is, my last video was a success with returning viewers, subscribers, but flatlined when shown to a broader audience, which killed its impression. What are strategies to avoid this and keep reaching new viewers? Is first, when you are publishing videos with the current view counts that you have, that's going to be a really normal thing because YouTube is testing it against people that are already engaging with the channel. So because of that, what you're experiencing right now is a really normal thing. In order to break past that and to get into larger groups, those people and anybody else they show it to, they have to respond to the content at a higher rate. And when I say respond to the content, what I mean is they need to click on it at a competitive rate, and they need to enjoy that content at a competitive rate based on all the things that YouTube measures, which, mostly is watch time when it comes to that, in addition to other things. But basically, people have to really respond well to the content for it to go further and further out into YouTube. So think of it like, each video is you're like a drop in like a still lake, right? And if, you put out a video and people don't respond to it well, then you're just dropping in like a tiny little pebble, right, into that lake. And, you'll get a little bit of a ripple out, but it probably won't go too far. Whereas if you have a video that people really respond to at a high level, that's like dropping, a big rock into the lake to where it's going to go, the ripples are going to go much further. It's a similar idea to that. And other things too, is when you're making videos, the topics of them also need to be things that are important to people at scale. Because if you make things that, if you make videos that are more, inside type things, so where it's just your community that, that gets the joke, from your packaging and stuff like that, then in that case, those types of things can, work against you. But actually, I'm looking at your channel right now. Like you're getting some decent views on some of these, for especially with like your channel size. You have a video here from 3 weeks ago with like 7.4 thousand views on it. Another one here, 7.3 thousand, 13,000 view video, 1.9 thousand, 7.8. So you're getting some views on these, and you only have 8, 9, you only have 10 videos here. So you're actually doing awesome. You have 11 videos in total on the channel, because you've got a short, I guess. Yeah, so you got 11? A short. 11 videos in total, 2.3 thousand views, or 2.3 thousand subscribers. And several videos here with, 7,000, 13,000, all that. So yeah, like I just want you to know you're doing awesome compared to, most content creators when they start channels. So, you're doing great right now. So in terms of returning viewers, you're actually getting a lot of new viewers right now on some of these, because your view count is exceeding your subscriber count. So you are getting new viewers from this content. So yeah, so nice work on this. So one thing that I would definitely do is right now,
in case you know that you're not showing it.
Yeah, let me show this. So one thing that I would do is right now, based on what it is that that we're seeing here, is I would go to like this video right here that you did a month ago. I would go to this video here that you did a month ago. This video here that you did 13 days ago. This video here, and I would start looking for things. Like I'd be like, okay, let me go into this video. In the back end of all these, you have the audience retention report. So one, I would go in and I would look at, those and see like, okay, when my video started, were people, kind of leaving? Did it kind of go like this? How did it go? But for these moments, look to see what you were doing, right? When you were dropping off on retention. I would do that for all of these. And then in addition to that, I would look at them topically. So here, this one's on Yogi O, right? So you had people respond to that one. Actually, these are all. Are they all?
But most
I think this one might not. Oh no, this one is too. Yep, that one is too. Okay, yeah. So you are. You're. This one's not.
I would make sure you have that in all of your titles.
Yeah. So yeah. Right now, one thing that you definitely want to be thinking about is these are the videos that people are responding to. Right, these Yogi O videos. So I would definitely lean into that right now. However it is that you say that, I would definitely lean into that right now, because people are responding to how you do this content. So I would lean into this, and I would make more videos on this and just make sure that you stay in that lane. And I would do less of this right now. You can do this kind of stuff later, but right now I would just make sure that you're focusing on the Yogi O stuff, because that's what people are responding to. Use that to pick up momentum and to grow like a nice audience on this channel. And then after that, then start sprinkling in some of this, other stuff. If you're wanting to do that stuff. But right now, I would just fill this up with content that these people that are already enjoying your channel would enjoy.
UGO, maybe. UGO.
Yeah, but with these, because people are clicking on them. So because of that, and you're talking about something that's popular already, so you have two things to your, that are working in your favor here. So because of that, I would definitely make sure that you are looking in your audience retention to just look for anything that you can do better there. And also when it comes to things like this, remember that, you are using that imagery to help capture their attention. So because of that, make sure that the character is in view, because right now the character is getting obscured with this text that you have on here. So make sure that the character is in view, and then any text that you do put on here, make sure it's readable. Because right now, like at a small size, like in suggested videos, you're not going to be able to see what any of this stuff says here in the thumbnail. So that's where leveraging the character themselves can be a really big benefit there. Same thing here, right? This one had 7.8 thousand views on it, but if you put more emphasis on the character, those are the types of things that and I'll just do it right here on your channel so you can see, that if somebody is watching someone else's video, oh, nice. I like that you're on the green screen. That's cool. So like it feels unique, right? That's not what I expected at all when I clicked on this video. So I think it's awesome that you're doing that. But here at this like smaller size, right? Like with that current thumbnail setup that you have, it'll be really hard to see at these smaller sizes, right? In terms of reading all that text. So because of that, simplify the text that you have on here, and instead of having all this stuff that people have to read, focus on the character and then simplify the text. And I'd even pump up the saturation on these a bit so they stand out a little bit more too, because you're getting a response. You just need to dial it in. So saturation on your thumbnails to make them stand out, kind of like this one does, how this one kind of screams off the page compared to everything else. Focusing on the characters, making sure the text is legible at all sizes. And I can show you that right here. So if we take this here, easy to read, take it down here to suggested size, almost invisible in terms of the words that you have on there. But those are the types of things that you should be thinking about right now.
Hey, Daryl. Good to see you.
Oh, we got Daryl Eves in the house.
The one and only.
The one and only.
Daryl Eves in the house.
Yeah. What's up, Daryl? Hope that you're doing great. Says what?
UGO versus. Yeah.
All doing versus content.
Yeah.
Great suggestion. Listen to that guy.
Yeah.
With his, he says do another versus video ASAP.
Yep.
So take that advice, go do that like right now. Stop what you're doing and go make that video.
Yeah, listen to that guy.
Yeah, listen to Daryl. Yeah, if he says go do a versus video, go do a versus video. So next up on our list here, we have The Real Sync. The Real Sync uploads 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than a year. They do pop culture commentary and panel discussions. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is, how many videos does the algorithm need to test while finding a new audience after a pivot? So technically, like, from a technical standpoint, you can make one really good video that does really well, and that will, that will build the audience, for that content. But the problem is that as soon as that video does well, then YouTube's going to go into your archive for the people that responded well to that content and start recommending the other videos on your channel. So when that happens, then YouTube's going to recommend those videos to people that might not like that other content. And, if they engaged in the channel, right, and they are watching your videos for a long time, they subscribe from that video, they're liking it, they're doing all the stuff, then in that case, YouTube is going to test some of the other content against them. And if they don't respond to it, then that's a negative when it comes to YouTube. So because of that, when it comes to pivoting the channel, depending on, let me see what your channel is right now, actually. Let me pull this up, because I don't want to say this before I look. Okay, where you're at right now, yeah, I would just make the change. So right now you have 22 videos on the YouTube channel. So right now I would just make the change. And really, from where you're at on this channel, if you're gonna go in a completely different direction, I wouldn't even make the change on this channel. I would just start a new channel, and then that way you're starting from scratch with every video on that new channel being a perfect fit for the people that you're trying to reach. And then that way you don't have to worry about any of this other content, working against you in any way, shape, or form. And you can make sure that everything on that new channel is a perfect fit for that audience that you're trying to build. Crispy applesauce, our pleasure. Next up, we've got, and just as a quick reminder, if you are in the stream right now, if you have a question, there's a comment pinned at the top of the chat right now where you can put your question into the form. If you are watching this from somewhere that is not YouTube, you can go to Ask Nimmin. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Let me pull it up. You can go to nicknimmin.com/ask, and it will redirect you to that same exact form. So this one right here is from CFB Express. They do College Football Express, and the upload cadence is 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than 1 year. The type of channel is National College Football Channel as opposed to Single Team Focus. And the question is, how would you evaluate our thumbnail and title strategy for a channel? And how would we successfully try to A/B test and move into new types of thumbnails and branding that might help us elevate and succeed better in the new season for our channel? It's a great question. Hey, D, you want to get in on this? Okay. Oh, man. Hold on. Yeah, I'm putting in his channel, and it is not...
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
Express. Yeah, this channel, let me try the @ Give me 1 second. See if it'll come up with the ad here so we can get you pulled up. Nope. Okay, we're going to search for it. We're going to try to get you up here, AFB Express. Yeah, it does not look like ACFB Express. Yeah, your channel is not coming up. Well, it's a college football channel. Right, but they're wanting us to look at their titles and thumbnails. But the problem is their channel is not coming up. So give me 1 second. I'm still trying to hunt you down.
CFBX Press. CFBX Press.
Okay, there we go. So that A shouldn't be in there. Okay, thank you, Doug. All right, now we're on track. Here we go.
What was your question?
Okay, D. So the question is, how would you evaluate our thumbnail and title strategy for a channel, and how would you successfully try to A/B test and move into new types of thumbnails and branding that might help us elevate and succeed better into the new season for our channel? So let's take a look at what it is that you are doing.
My hands are wet. Give me a minute.
Your hands are wet?
Yeah, they have the way to dry them.
Okay. Oh, that's right. All right. So let's see here. So looking at this, we have Weirdly picks. Okay, so the very first thing that I would recommend here is, in terms of A/B testing or just in general, is leverage more imagery from the teams that you are talking about. And you say that you're talking about different teams, so I don't know if each video here. Give me 1 second. I'm still trying to get a handle on what you're doing. CFB channels are absolute must-watches. So could you answer a question for me if you're still in the chat? Are each one of these videos about multiple teams? But while we're talking about that, I'm going to give kind of if yes and if no scenarios. So if they're about individual teams, this one's 24 teams. So for videos that are about individual teams, make sure that you are focusing on the imagery of those teams if you do have videos that are individual teams. For videos that are multiple teams like this, then in that case, try to focus on imagery that would cover, several at least of the popular teams. You may or may not put, a whole group of, like in this case, 24 teams. You don't want to put a ton of, different squares on here. I mean, it would be something to test and see if people responded to it. But the idea is that you're trying to capture people that are into college football. So because of that, leveraging the popular teams or teams from games that, that people are talking about right now, that type of thing, is the imagery that you would want to use. Some of this, like these, over here on the side, these are going to help people, realize that, this is about sports. But when you put, like a football helmet in here, kind of like you have over here on this one, then that just makes it crystal clear at a glance. Because right now what I'm seeing when I look at this thumbnail is I see 24 teams, and then I see these dudes down here in the bottom, these cartoon guys.
Yeah.
So because of that, I would swap those out either for like game imagery, kind of like you have over here with like the football helmets, or players that are popular. And by doing that, then you're making it really easy for people to identify that it's about something that they might care about, just at a glance, right? Like right here, you have the emotions with the coaches here, and oh, you got a little collaboration going. Nice work. But here you have like the imagery with the coaches, and for people that know, that follow the game enough to where they know who these coaches are, that right there is going to be something to where if they're on their phone and they're sitting there scrolling, or they're on their TV and they're sitting there flipping, looking around for something to watch, to where those are, going to stand out to them if they know who those players are. But like right here, where you're focusing, I think it's good that you have the game imagery in the background. However, like this up and down arrow, like these are taking away from that game imagery just because they stand out so much. So because of that, I would just try to think of, can we leverage some teams here? Is there anything else that we can do that will be bigger in the thumbnail so that it stands out? So for example, right, like here, I see that you have teams, but the emphasis is on the arrows, right? So you're super close on this, right? To whereas if it's a big size like this in like a mobile feed, this might be okay. Home pages, because thumbnails can be huge there, so this might be okay in some grids. However, if we take this down to like suggested video size, then all of the team information gets lost, right? So what you want to do in that situation is you want to make sure that everything that you're doing at a small size that it's easy to see that it's about these teams. And I think you're a step in the right direction with the imagery that you're using here in the background for the stadiums. But what it is that you're doing up here is grabbing more attention, and this isn't clear enough, in my opinion. So I think that those types of things could be really helpful for what it is that you're doing for trying to capture their attention. So for A/B testing, to answer your question more clearly, the thing that I would do is I would do things like, okay, let's remove these arrows. Let's make these logos here bigger.
Significantly
larger, yep. You can still do the thing in the middle here, but I would even remove the promotion or relegation, and I would remove this little logo up here, and I would just make everything like that team logo. Let me do it this way. So it would be one team logo here, one team logo here, right, to express this same idea, and then one team logo here and one team logo here.
And you don't need to put up and down if you're putting arrows that are going up and down. Simplify your thumbnails.
Yeah.
Remove anything that you don't need. If you're putting an up arrow, you don't need to put up. You technically don't need to put your little logo up in the corner for your College Football Express. You have all these things fighting for attention.
Yep.
When the thing that's going to be grabbing the user's attention is going to be things that they relate to, which is going to be the team logos and the team names.
Yeah, but all of this stuff here, like if you look at it, there's just so much to look at.
Yeah.
Right? Like same here, right? Like if we bring this up, like you can see even at a large size, like you just don't know where to look, right?
Yeah.
There's just stuff everywhere.
Too much going on.
Yeah. So because of that, like to capture their attention, just focus it on something. Like imagine this. Like imagine if you were driving down the highway, right? You can't take your eyes off the road, but for more than a second, right? So where you're looking at a billboard or something. So what you would do is you would, if you're making a billboard, you would just focus that billboard on some things that are just going to stand out. So if you're using text of any kind, it's going to be big. It's going to share that message quickly, right? You're not writing like a whole novel on there. You're going to try to make it focused so that people will look at a very specific thing. YouTube is the same exact way. You get to leverage, especially in your case, because you're talking about things that are popular already. You get to leverage those popular things, those logos, the game imagery, stuff like that, in order to capture their attention around the things that they care about. And right now, it looks like you're filling up the thumbnail for the sake of filling up the thumbnail versus, okay, I'm going to try to focus people's attention on, this or on these things. Right, so just clean it up, simplify, and that would be the first thing that I would start testing on your channel. And Daryl mentions here also, he mentions that the thumbnails are also too busy on the channel as well.
Yeah, really busy thumbnails.
Yeah, and keep in mind too, right, because you're getting started here, like like this part of it, like thumbnails, it's tough, right? And the reason it's challenging is, like if you haven't done something before you got onto YouTube where you have had to put all this stuff together, it's easy to by default think like, okay, well, I just got to fill this thumbnail up because I just want to put this information, just really inform people here. But remember, when it comes to your thumbnails, the goal of the thumbnail is to grab somebody's attention, not necessarily to tell the whole story, right? So because of that, when you simplify it, it just helps you be able to grab people's attention in a much easier way. Thanks for the super chat. Kathy Fitz says, D, is the paid CapCut worth it? Or should she go for free?
Is the paid CapCut worth it? If you're going to use it a lot, I think it's worth it. You have to understand what they've changed with their terms of service and all of that. But if you were going to use CapCut, when they started out and it was completely free, it was great because they let you use all the features and they didn't have limits and watermarks and all of that. But if you're going to be a power user, it's definitely worth paying for.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of if there are tools that help you do everything easier, if you can, then, if you think like the paid version is going to help you be more efficient, then in that case, in my opinion, if it'll save you time and things like that, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
So I would just make that call around that perspective.
Yeah. But I also say, and I don't know if you're on an Android or an iOS device, but if I remember you're doing exercise videos, I don't remember you're doing a lot of crazy editing. If so, you could use something like iMovie.
Yeah.
iMovie's great. Simple editing, but it can do the...
It can get it done, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but CapCut's fine. I would go paid if you're going to be a power user.
Master Minecraft, UZ is the name of the channel. They upload every other day. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do Minecraft content, and the goal of the channel is to make money. The question is trying to reach 100,000 subscribers. What do I have to do it more faster? So let's see what it is that you got going on.
I'm going to remove the other channel that you had up there.
Oh, was it still up?
Yeah.
I thought I took it down. All right. So let's open this one up. Okay. 14,000 subscribers. Nice. Love it. 59 videos. Got some views coming in. That's fantastic. Is this another language? It is another language. Okay, so I can't read your titles. So you're going to have to, you're going to have to figure the titles out. But I think when it comes to the imagery, this is pretty Minecraft clear. I like how, there's some focus here on your thumbnails. Some of these, it's a little bit cloudy in terms of the focus. But, overall,
these are cool looking thumbnails.
Yeah, some of them are definitely cool looking. But some of them are just a little bit, more cloudy than others in terms of the focus here. But yeah, so I think where you're currently at, I think your thumbnails are solid for most of these. I can't read the text, but for the thumbnails, I think those are solid. So the next thing that I would do in your case is I would start digging into your audience retention reports to see, the things that cause people to leave and all of that. And I would also make sure that you are being very intentional about if somebody watches, this video, then they're going to be likely to watch this video and so on. And that you're also, leading people into additional content that they're most likely to enjoy based on the videos that they're watching, all that best practice type stuff. I would make sure that you're doing those things. But I think where you're at right now, because people are responding to what it is that you're doing, is I would definitely work on the video content. And then I would also, in terms of your audience retention, right? Like I would go in there and see the things that people are and are not responding to. And then from there, the next thing that I would start working on is looking for any themes that people consistently respond to, so that you can start making those like a consistent part of the channel. So again, because I can't read your titles, I can't tell if you're doing something like that already. But I would definitely go through these ones that have done, substantially better than others. And I would start trying to unpack what's behind those videos and why you think it is that people responded well to those, and see if there is a way that you can do either recurring themes, or that you can, deliver a similar thing to people. But what you're already doing, people are responding to. So I think the next step would be, and again, I wish I could read your titles, but I can't. But
it's Uzbek.
Oh, that's an Uzbek language?
Apparently. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I had to look it up.
But yeah, so I would definitely lean more on this one. I would lean more into the retention, how people are responding to everything. And then I would, look for themes that you could follow around the channel.
Because we're going to have to brush up on our Uzbek.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Roberto?
It's
Back
been
in
a
the
while.
house? On your Uzbeki?
Yeah, my Uzbek, yeah.
Is it Uzbek or Uzbeki? I'm not sure.
I just call it Uzbek.
I'm not sure. Next up on the list, we have Merciful Munchies. The upload schedules when they have time, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. The type of channel is spiritual, recovery and fitness, and dieting. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, it seems like I only got views on short videos. Are there any good tips on how to get views in longer form videos? So I mentioned this earlier in the stream. And one thing that's always important to remember when it comes to shorts versus long form content is, even though shorts are, they do get discovered from all over the place now. A lot of times the difference between short form content and vertical or regular content, 16:9 long form content, the difference is that when you are publishing short form content, in a lot of cases, it's just showing up to people in their feed, right? Depending on the content, people might click on it from other places too. But if you are getting, the initial views in YouTube Shorts, because I see here 1.4 thousand, 2,000, 591 views, with these, these are likely just showing up in the Shorts feed. So the difference when it comes to shorts and long form is the short form content just happens to people, right? So for example, if you're sitting there and you're watching YouTube Shorts and you're flipping through, then in that case, what happens is you watch one short, you scroll, and then that next short shows up. So a person didn't choose for that short to show up. YouTube decided and said, hey, let's we're going to see if you like this or not. And then YouTube made the call to show it to that person. So the difference is when you're doing shorts, people, react to it in that way. When you're doing long form content, the difference is the topic itself has to be good enough to where people, when they see it on their home pages, suggested videos, things like that, to where when they see it, they're like, oh yeah, this seems interesting, but they have to be able to see it first, which is another challenge. So one of the things that we mentioned on the football channel was that, thumbnails can be challenging if you haven't done something like this before. So when it comes to the long form content, you have to be really good at picking good topics that are great for YouTube's recommendation system, or things that people are looking for. You have to be able to package them up in the thumbnail and title. So with your thumbnail, you have to get really good at capturing people's attention based around, what it is that they care about. So making all of that clear. You have to make sure that your titles are informative and or super, compelling. And then once they get into the video itself, then you have to make a really good, video that they respond to well at a level that's competitive, against other videos that YouTube is showing those same people. So because of that, there's just a lot more involved when it comes to long form content. So when you're getting results in YouTube Shorts, but it's not working out for you in long form, it means that you got to keep, keep working on the long form. So that's step number one. So step number two is that I see that your shorts are about food. And here, I'll just pull this up real quick. So I see that your shorts are about food. And then when I come to your long form, I see some food. I see that you went to like a concert here. I see this one is, rocking for recovery. This is like a meditation video. So you're also creating an additional issue here to where on this, if somebody comes in and they watch this food video, they're not very likely to watch this. I mean, these are 2 years ago. Oh, you haven't even uploaded a video, a long form in a year. So yeah, so we'll skip the long form. But the message that I was going to mention here is that when you're publishing videos on a channel, you want to make sure that they are all a perfect fit for a certain type of viewer. And when you break that, then it makes it harder for people to binge watch your content. It makes it harder for YouTube's system to recommend, the content to the people that they're going to respond to and all of that. So because of that, if you are going to start doing long form again, then just make sure that all of the videos that you are publishing to the channel are a perfect fit for a particular type of viewer that's interested in very specific things. In your case, that might be, quick moves, quick meals. It might be low carb. It might be weight loss, journey, whatever the thing is. Just make sure that you are doing it for a very a specific type of viewer. Next up, we've got Paradox Card Sessions. Paradox Card Sessions. They do daily content, but on YouTube for less than 1 month. They do Pokemon card openings. Goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, what can I improve on? So let's see what it is that you got going on. Card Sessions. One of the things that I like most about this is we get to see like all these different types of channels.
Right.
Like you just get to see so much stuff that like, you might not have gotten recommended or anything like that. Like it's
YouTube
great.
is really good about just putting you in a little bubble. Mm-hmm. And you don't know about all this other stuff that's happening out there in the world.
It makes sense because it's interest-based. Like you're not going to respond to it anyway, so it makes sense. But it's cool that we get to see it.
I remember we had a channel come in here, and they come in here regularly. I forget the channel name that they do. It's essentially like game roller coasters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Incredible.
He's doing well too. I think he's got like 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah, it's not game roller coasters. What is it?
It is game roller coasters.
Is it game roller coasters?
Yeah, it's like roller coaster simulators or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Simulator. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, Roberto says long form is human behavior and being chosen. Shorts is letting the algorithm take the wheel. Yep. All right. So really quick, there is a form. Oh, there it is. There's a form down in the description where you can put any questions that you have. So we're coming to the end of the stream here. So I'm not 100% sure if we'll get to it, but you can go ahead and put it in there because we might. So you can go ahead and put it in there if you want us to take a gander. Okay, so here we go. So on this one, D, the question is, what can they improve upon? So we're just going to go to the videos first.
Let's see. Paradox Card Sessions. Let's see. Welcome to Paradox.
Yeah, this is a brand new channel here. So it looks like they have 80 subscribers, 30 videos in total. So we've got 28 shorts and 2 long form pieces of content.
More videos.
Yep, that's one.
Yep, more videos.
Yeah, videos. Focus your thumbnails, right? You need clarity in your thumbnails here too.
I would put.
They're uploading small thumbnails too.
Even if you're taking a screenshot out of the video itself, I would get your cards in the because hover over that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I would get your cards in the thumbnail itself and make sure it fills the entire thumbnail out. You see how you're cropping out the sides? Here, pull off. You see how you have the
the cards aren't even in here.
Right.
Yeah, they're not even in the thumbnail.
Right.
Yeah, if the whole thing is about cards and you're trying to connect with people over Pokemon cards, then make sure that Pokemon cards are in your thumbnail.
Yeah.
So this is just the same exact thing that we were saying on some of the others in terms of leveraging the things that your viewers care about to help them identify that this content is about something that they care about, right? So make sure that you are focusing on the cards here. And also when it comes to the videos that you publish on your YouTube channel, just make sure if this whole thing is about Paradox card sessions and you are doing like Pokemon stuff, then in that case, make sure every video that you publish is that. Because what you don't want to do, especially, since you're getting started here, I mean, you never want to do this, but especially now, is when you are publishing videos, you want to make sure that every video that you have is a good fit for people that are interested in cards. Yeah. This video right here about the poll results on your community post, this isn't a piece of content that people that are interested in Pokemon cards at scale would necessarily care about. So because of that, you need to just focus on what it is that you're offering and make sure that you offer that consistently. And then let me see what it is that you're doing here. Yeah, so with these, you're focusing on the cards. And again, as soon as this shows up in the feed, you've already got some cards out, it looks like, and all of that. So here, this is a much better representation of, what it is that you're actually doing, which is good.
Yep, that's the imagery you need.
Yeah. Yeah, these are the type. Yep, yeah, exactly what you need. So another thing too is like if you look at this, you can see these are just better lit and stuff like that too. It looks like with these shorts. Whereas if we go here and we look at this, it looks like this is like just darker. The video content itself, but you definitely want to get some of that card imagery on this also. So what we are going to do is I'm going to grab the... Hey, thanks, Darlene. Cool. Appreciate it. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to grab that channel real quick that said, how do we get our channel looked at? So I'm just going to grab it, and we're just going to pull it up here real quick.
Well, that usually doesn't work that way, but today it worked.
Yep, today, right now it is.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, so this is, it looks like this is around cars. Okay. So let me zoom this back out.
Automobiles?
Yeah, like Hot Wheels and stuff.
Okay. Oh, you pulling them up?
Yep. So so right here, we got you looked at, right? Because you're asking how to get it looked at. So typically you add it to the form, but I'm just pulling it up now.
Wow,
because we're coming to the end here.
I love this.
Yeah. So in terms of your shorts, same thing. Just like the Pokemon channel, you're focusing on the cars, and just making sure you have cool shots of the cars and all that. I think that's a good approach there. Some of these you've gotten good responses. Here initially on these, you got 11,000 views here. So yeah, you're also getting some of the shorts views coming in on this, which is cool. When we go to the long form, these are not doing, as well, but this is definitely something to where, focusing more. Like I wouldn't use the cartoon here. I would take a shot of. Hold on, this changed the whole look of my Lamborghini. So in a situation like this, one of the things I would experiment with is doing like a before and after, maybe to where half of it is the before version of the Lambo, the other part is the after version, or if it's like a front shot, same exact thing. I'm not sure what the mods were that you made, but either showing that transformation or teasing that transformation, one of the two.
Hot Wheel Lamborghini.
Yeah, if it's Hot Wheel. I don't know if it's another brand or if it is Hot Wheel. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've been out of that loop for a long time.
It looks like Hot Wheel.
Yeah, Hot Wheels. It is. Yep, you're right. Yeah, Hot Wheels right here. It's in the channel, the description. Yeah, so it is Hot Wheels. Yeah, so yeah, with that, so just a focus on the car. And another thing, and this is where nuance matters when it comes to your thumbnail. So you can see here that you are focusing on the car conceptually. You are, but if you look at this, like you see a bunch of stuff, and based on the color of this car, it kind of blends in. So this is one of those things where adding just a little bit of blur to the background would help that car stand out, and just zooming in on it more. So here, I'm actually going to show you here really quick. So we'll do this here so everybody can kind of see how this works.
Look at those cars.
So if we capture the thumbnail, and then I'm going to
do some stuff.
Yeah, we're going to drop this into Photoshop. And then we're going to rework this thumbnail.
Even if you compare it to the thumbnail that's next to it that has a lot more views, they're just holding a single car.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oops.
Jive Dancing, you have a great week.
Wrong one. There we go.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
So this image is just a little bit blurry anyway, but we're just going to workshop this here. So let's see.
Yes, you can, Doug.
What do you say?
You see I can grab thumbnails with that tool?
Yes. Yeah, that's Creator Dashboard, by the way, that tool. So if you can get that at creatordashboard.com. It basically turns your new tab into a command center for YouTube, and then it also has some additional tools on YouTube. It requires a little bit of a technical setup because you have to put in your own YouTube API key. However, once you do put in your API key, it takes about 2 minutes. There's a tutorial for it. It really makes an awesome use out of your new tab in Chrome. So what I'm going to do, step number 1 is we're going to focus on this car, right? So that'd be step number 1. Unfortunately, the car is a little bit blurry. So if I'm honest, I'd probably throw this into like Nano Banana and see if it could recreate it with like a better version. But while we're here, the next thing that I would do is I would either try to blur out this background a little bit. So we're going to go, not that one.
I'd probably cut out that car and make
Blur.
it an individual layer.
Yeah, probably me as well. But I'm just going to show you here just the difference on, just adding some blur to this for helping that car stand out. It's already blurry, the car itself is. So this particular method probably isn't going to be the best. Yeah, it's just going too slow there. So yeah, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do D's approach, and we're going to have Photoshop. Fingers crossed it grabs the right thing. It did not, but it grabbed most of it. So we are going to mask that.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
And there's your thumbnail.
So we're going to go in here, and this is going to be just a really quick, dirty version of this, just to give you an idea of the concept here. We're going to take this out. Didn't mean to cut that out, but we'll put it back here in just a
quick
second.
and dirty, man. Just quick and dirty.
Quick and dirty.
You're not being paid to rebuild a thumbnail here.
All right.
Quick and dirty.
There. Okay, I'd probably build some of the hands out too. But I'd do one of two things here. One, I would blur the background, or I would put a little bit of something here on the background. So it kind of brings some of this to the foreground. Yeah, that one's not going to work. So I would do a blur. And then, yeah.
Blur it.
So we're going to come
I'd
up
cut
here.
the hands out, then I would blur it.
Yeah. Yes, and then that way at least the car stands out. And I did the wrong one also. Way to go. Yeah. Okay, but Photoshop might actually track this one better. Boom, look at that.
There you go.
Yep. See, I should have just kept going with that one.
You kind of want the fingers, too.
Yep. Yeah, we'll paint those in
Put
real
those
quick.
phalanges in there.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring those back in real quickly. Again, this is going to be quick and dirty here. Actually should have done the car standalone still, even without the hand,
No,
so I
it's
could
just a-
intensify the color.
Just a happy little masking over there. Little happy masking.
Got this, gonna do that.
Show
Gonna
that,
add that back over there, take this one
that
off.
mean old purple car. We're just going to cut all around it. We're going to cut all around it there and show the fingers nice and strong.
Yep.
We're going to blur that background.
Filter, go
We're
to
just gonna-
blur. We're gonna see what this looks like.
We're just going to fuzzy that background up.
Yeah, just a little bit there.
There we go. Just nice and soft, just like that. Little Gaussian blur in
And
the background.
depending, I might also
Mm-hmm. You have any Klondike brown we can put on that?
might pull that color back just a smidge so that I can intensify
So
the color of
Crispy
this.
Applesauce says, seeing you guys live edit a thumbnail is actually really informational, even if it's a dirty, rough draft. Even your process to approach the edit is different from me, and your way makes so much sense.
Okay, so we're going to intensify this puppy.
I always like watching people work
I
because
do too,
everybody
yeah.
approaches things from a different angle. You know, I love it. So
Yeah,
what
so-
did you just do? What did you increase the yellow? Is that what you did?
Yeah, so basically I increased the color of the die cast.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take the hands back out of this one. And then I'll saturate those separately.
Little crimson.
So here, as soon as this stream is over, just so you know, so Daryl Leaves, who was in here earlier, he's going to be streaming here in just a minute also. And I have this stream redirecting. So I recommend that everybody that's hanging out here, once this redirects to his stream, I recommend that you go and listen to his live stream. He has, in case you're not familiar with Daryl, he has more play buttons than I think YouTube does. And he works with some of the biggest content creators on the platform. So when it comes to, and he has a bunch of like, successful, channels himself. So when it comes to YouTube, he is, he's definitely somebody that you should go listen to. So, so definitely make sure that once we do cross that over, that you go and you, that you hang out over there, because you'll learn a ton of information about YouTube.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, so roughly, I'm still not 100% with the background.
It's dirty.
But
it's
basically,
quick.
Yeah, in comparison to what it was, right, it's a little bit better. I would still work on it more, right? But the thing is like at a small size, right, it at least helps the car stand out more. I might even make the car even bigger, right, to where the whole thing is maybe more like this, because I'd really try to emphasize that. And if I'm really trying to do it,
Yeah.
then, bringing this down here, because, we're trying to attract people that are into Hot Wheel.
Yeah.
So give me 1 second.
And think about this from your
Hot
ideal
Wheel.
viewer's perspective. They're into Hot Wheels, and boom, here's a Hot Wheel, a
Right.
vibrant Hot Wheel, filling up the entire thumbnail. They're going to immediately identify, oh, that's an awesome looking Hot Wheel. Those are some good looking fingers.
Okay, copy image. Boom. So before you do this, I would look into, Hot Wheels and, what they allow people to do with their logos and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, that's dope. Look at that.
But basically something like this, right? So then that way you get that in there. So either this big version, or, if you did, depending on, this would be depending on the video topic and stuff, but like at least having this logo in here somewhere. So it kind of helps
You just do dead center
at
with
a
that.
small size.
Yeah.
Then we bring it over
Yeah,
here. Right? And then, this still works here. So that hopefully one of these two things will capture, that person's attention. And then, so we have here, I've got this like hard spot back here, but I would still work on it. Like, I'm going to leave it where it's at right now for this, because we're at time for the stream. But like one of the things that I would work on here is I would work on like what's going on in the background, because there's a lot happening.
Can we see a before and after?
Yeah, this is, let me put the Hot Wheel logo in here.
And maybe zoom in just a little bit too, because it's really small on your screen.
Well, that's kind of the idea though.
No, I mean the whole, just so everybody can see the difference. Like push in a little bit.
Yeah, I want them to see it at a small size there.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can see, but I'll zoom it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
So then this way, it's more focused on like what it is that, that people care about. Instead of it just being like a whole group of things, it's focused on, it's focused on the thing that matters. And then another thing too, just as a, as something to play with on this, is I would even experiment. And this is the part where, deciding on, like when it would be finished, so to speak, would be the move.
Dad
But-
Bellis just joined as a new channel member.
Oh, nice.
Yep, there you go. Thank you.
Yep. Welcome to the Niminati. So we have a Facebook group. If you're interested in that, you can go to Nimin No, that's not it. Hold on. You can go to niminvip.com, and that's going to redirect you to that Facebook group. If you're on Facebook and into that, if you can do that here before the stream is over, then we can get you in there as soon as the stream is finished. And we have a Discord also. Personally, I like the Discord better because it's structured. So if you have a question, you can just drop it in the questions area. But other things that I would experiment with here, though, just so you know, let me turn off some of these background layers. I'm looking for the blur because I got.
I think we should do more
showing
streams
here.
like this where we like rebuild stuff. Would you guys like that? I would like it. I just want to sit here and watch you work.
Right? Yeah. So other things that I would do too is, where's that blur coming from?
You know, what'd be fun is to each of us take a thumbnail and like do a split screen and share it, and both of us see how we rebuild a thumbnail differently.
Oh, that would
would be
actually
fun.
be interesting. Yeah, that would.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me do this. Duplicate this. I'm gonna blur this background. Go and blur. So there we go. We keep the blur going. Make sure it's in this group, and it is. Double check it.
Yeah, this looks good though. Even for quick and dirty, like the difference is, it is massive.
But yeah, like some things though, like if we take this background now and we crush this down, yeah, like other things that I would play with here is one, just sharpening of this car, and I might throw it into Nano Banana and see if it could like remake it to where it's more crisp. But this is where making sure that you get the shot when it comes to your thumbnails is important. But other things that I would experiment with is like, okay, is there anything that I can do here to kind of minimize this stuff that's going on in the background?
Yeah, so this is something to keep in mind. As you are filming the video, keep in mind the shots that you're taking are going to be used for a thumbnail. So always keep that in mind. Okay, I need to record something, but I also need to have a thumbnail. So take the time to make sure you get the shots of the cars, make sure they're in focus, make sure you don't have a lot of clutter around them so you don't have to go through this whole process.
Yeah.
Just always remember, I have to make a thumbnail. I have to make a thumbnail. And put a lot of time into those images, because if you don't get to click, you don't get to view, you don't get to view, you don't get to watch time. It's a domino effect.
Yeah, I would still keep messing with this. I'm not 100% happy with this.
Yeah.
I would still keep messing with this, quite a bit. But anyway, the idea is if you compare this one to the original, you can see how we just dialed in the focus, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing that we're trying to do, is just bring this in so that it's easy for people to just instantly see it and be like, oh, that's a cool car. Let me check this out, for the people that are into Hot Wheels, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And on that note, I do want to remind you, if you are a content creator and you're new, or and things aren't going the way that you want, or you feel stuck and things aren't going the way you want, remember that YouTube comes with a learning curve just like everything else. And because of that, you have to work on the skills involved around doing it. And one of the best things you can do really is compare yourself to other channels and try to replicate what other channels are doing, just so you can see what's involved with doing it that way. Like if channels are doing well, looking at their thumbnails and then saying, okay, can I recreate this thumbnail in Canva or Photoshop or TubeSpanner or whatever it is that you're using? Like, can I recreate this? And I'm not saying recreate it and use the thumbnail. I'm saying do it for the sake of practice and learning how to do things in that way. Because as you're practicing, it's also going to help highlight some things that you're doing, right? So because of that, just stay focused on skill building, because that's going to be the thing that's going to move the needle for you. And that comes down to everything: making thumbnails, writing titles, the actual video content, telling stories, keeping people engaged, all these things, content strategy, like all this stuff. So just make sure that you are just focused on that. And you'll get there. So hang in there. You got this. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for hanging out. Make sure that you check out Opus Clip on the way out at opusclip.com, or if you want to give me an affiliate commission, you can go to tryopusnow.com. But as soon as we hit the end button here, it's going to redirect over to Daryl's stream. And like I mentioned, you definitely want to make sure that you are hanging out in his stream as well, because on his channel, he really shares a lot of great insights when he goes live. He only goes live like every now and then. So when he goes live, it's definitely something that you want to go and check out and listen to, because he drops knowledge bombs constantly, and it's a different format than this. His is more, interviews with people that have done well, and then they share what it is that they changed to get them to do well. So definitely make sure that you check that out. Have a great rest of your weekend, D.
Yep, great stream. Thanks, everybody.
Great stream, and we will see you next time.